We're the Retro Rangers and we're here to save the past. Bringing back some lovely memories and making the good times last. We're not breaking copyright, so no, we're not on that jive. That's why this little show is free and never monetized. Fair use, fair use, having fun, you know. We're just giving reviews and it's all covered by fair use. We ain't here to copy, we're here to react. If we were stealing your stuff, you're right, we should get smacked. We sample and review, but it's all in good taste. We're paying tribute to that race, and that is never a waste. Whenever monetized, and that is never a waste. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Having fun, you know. Giving comments and reviews, and it's covered by fair use. Fair use, fair use. Having fun, you know. If we watch your show, you've the right to refuse all of it. It's only fair use.
Hello, friends, and welcome to the show. It's Retro Rangers. I'm Capt'n John, and of course, serving alongside me in SB 80, the voted 15 years in a row the creakiest starbase in all of the fleet. Let me welcome my very capable and very wonderful first officer. It's Commander Joe Townsell. How are you, Mr. Townsell?
Mr. Weber, I'm doing great, Captain. How are you today?
Very good, very good. Really excited about this week because this is a subject about which I know almost nothing, and you and our special guest know a lot. So I will be able to ask all the dumb guy questions, and you'll be able to give me all the smart guy answers. And I'm very
well, John,
excited.
don't sell yourself short, because even when you know a lot about the subject, you can still always ask the dumb guy question. So always feel free.
Well, I'm very lucky on this one, I must say. And there were some very unique challenges with this one. So let's bring on our guest and let's start talking about this week's topic. Of course, you remember our good friend El Tiburon from the Retro Wave. El Tiburon, how are you, my friend?
How's it going, guys? Thanks for bringing me back on. I'm ready to talk some
right.
Freddy Krueger. Got my Freddy figure.
I'm glad
Freddy
somebody has a prop.
Freddy shirt. Yep.
Look at you.
All right.
I came prepared.
So would you say, Tiburon, that Elm Street is a happy place for you?
It's not my favorite, but it's my wife's favorite horror franchise, which makes it at least cracks the top 5. It's kind of like the middle ground for my wife. She's not a big fan of Friday the 13th, Texas Chainsaw, but she thinks Freddy Krueger is hilarious. So that's kind of where she'll meet me. You know, he's kind of a character.
This is, she brings up an excellent point, because Freddy is a very different kind of monster. I believe I can say that with some kind of confidence. And I'm going to put this across. And Mr. Townsell, I know you can probably catch me on this one. Has there been a horror character up to the point of the first Nightmare on Elm Street? And Tiburon, was that like, it's sometime in the 80s that Nightmare on Elm Street 1 debuts, correct?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're in like a post Michael Myers, and I think at this point we're also post Friday the 13th, Jason Voorhees as well, right? These guys have already debuted, but they're not.
Yeah, I think Halloween 1978. I think
that sounds right.
Friday the 13th is like 81 or 82, and I think the Nightmare's a little bit after that.
Yeah, just a little bit.
I think you're right, Tiburon. I think Halloween was definitely 78, and very early 80s for the other.
Oh, yeah. 80. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
And good thing we have Stevie that
there you go.
Confirm it all for us. Yes.
84. So Nightmare was 84.
Oh, Wait, and Jason didn't appear until part 2. Thank you. That's right.
Well, he did appear, but he wasn't the killer. He did appear in the first one. He's a little boy that jumps out of the lake, but he's
there.
Not
You go.
He's not the killer.
Stevie fixed it. Fixed it, but yeah, you were right on top of that one, Mario, and I appreciate that.
Yeah. Don't make the same tragic mistake that Drew Barrymore made in Scream when asked about Jason being in the first Friday the 13th, because she got it wrong. He was not the killer. Not until the end, anyway.
and Stevie, as feisty as Stevie always is, no, that was a dream.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, it could be debated. They kind of left it open. Yeah,
it's very apropos to bring up dreams when we're talking about Nightmare on Elm Street. And I have to admit, I did some research this week because I was trying to learn what are the rules of this universe. You know, it's something I always love. Tell me the rules. One of the few things I loved about the Lost Boys was that they give you all the vampire rules, even though some of them were made up just for that movie. And that actually, correct me if I'm wrong, Tiburon, but the rules change in the Elm Street universe.
I mean, the main rule is don't go to sleep, I guess. That's like the main rule. Don't fall asleep.
Right.
I think, there was a little bit of gray areas where he can kind of be brought into the real world. If you're holding on to him and you wake up and you can bring him in.
Yeah. At some point he can start possessing people in the waking world.
Yeah.
That seems to be new.
Yeah. And sometimes I think in one of the movies, I think is part 4, like a girl's kind of dozing off in class, and bam, she's in nightmare world with Freddy. So even a light little like dozing off lightly, you're in there. So you don't even have to be in deep sleep.
Yeah. Oh, and so Stevie says the rules and lore grow. Yeah, as they will in any movie. But fairly consistent, says Stevie. I don't know. We'll see. Part 2 introduced the possession, and that's a big step. Like being able to possess people in the waking world. Although I will say I was watching a video to explain it. It was on one of my many devices. And the guy was saying Freddy's powers increase as the movies go on, which reflects the fact that he goes from being a sort of monster to being a possessed demon or a possessive demon. So anyway, we should probably get into the video and start judging this stuff for ourselves. I will say I have some bad news. And that is we cannot watch Freddy's Nightmares. I lost a YouTube account over this. Fortunately, I create, as Tiburon calls them, burner accounts to test whether or not we could watch these videos. And it's crazy that I ever thought I could do this, but I found Freddy's Nightmares complete episodes over on Dailymotion. And I experimented with watching a Dailymotion video over YouTube. And I don't know why I thought I could get away with that. And they just kicked it off the air and we're so brutal about it. And I'm like, I'm disputing it, and I'm like, hey, are you telling me that I can't go to another video website and then stream it over your, okay, you know what? I get what you're saying. I'll delete the video.
Oh man. Do we have anything instead, John?
We do. So fortunately, somebody had collected, and this is wild. I've watched some of them and they're really worth watching. Somebody had collected the This Week on Freddy's Nightmares. And so those promos are all slapped together and they tell you, they show you highlights from the episode. They tell you what the plot is. And sometimes that's all you need because as our own Stevie has pointed out, this series is crazy. And I will say, over on our Facebook page and on our Twitter account, and we'll get it over to the other accounts as well, won't we, Joe? We will share the link to Daily Motion so you can go and watch these for yourself. Because I'm telling you, if you ever want to watch something for 45 minutes that is crazy and dumb and horror, these look pretty good. I mean, I'm very sad we can't watch them together.
Better than the Friday the 13th one? Friday the 13th series?
Much better because Freddy is directly involved.
He's the host,
Freddy is
right?
he's like the Rod Serling of the Freddy's Nightmare series.
Yeah, he's like the crypt keeper. He's your horror host. But the first episode is about Freddy.
Oh, this is true.
Cool.
We were probably going to watch that, weren't we? Darn it!
And that's exactly the one we were going to watch. It was called Freddy's Dead, and then another one of them, another title I saw somewhere was No More Mr. Nice Guy. So any fan should watch the first episode of Freddy's Nightmares. It's the only depiction of Freddy's origin in full.
Oh, I did not know that.
And made on
head on over to Daily Motion and do just that.
Yeah.
Yes. So he kills more victims not shown in the film. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah,
I have to say,
knowledge.
yeah, of all the franchises that I've never known anything about, this one might be my favorite. I do kind of dig Freddy Krueger, I have to admit. All right, let's get this video together here. Okay, so we're just gonna watch trailers. This is a good collection of trailers, so get ready to be reminded why you love Nightmare on Elm Street.
The kids of Elm Street don't know it yet, but something is coming to get them.
There's something out there, isn't there?
Oh,
You just see cuts happen.
Was this the first movie Johnny Depp was in? Like first big
Yes.
movie?
Yes.
The coroner had to say.
There are 4 kids who are
John
really
Cupid
endangered.
says he
One of
saw
them's Johnny
They're gonna
Depp.
kill me for sure.
Did you do it?
There was somebody else there.
He was locked in a room with a girl who went in alive and came out in a rubber bag.
John Savage.
No one knows where it came from or who it will visit next.
Nancy? There's something wrong with you. You're imagining things.
Nightmare.
imagine that Clive swinging in a
You
club.
believe in the boogeyman?
There he goes.
Whatever you do,
Johnny Depp.
don't fall asleep.
Drinking that liquor? Is that later?
Who's that?
She's the only one who can stop it. If she fails,
I'm your boyfriend now, Nancy.
You think Johnny Depp was more afraid of Freddy Krueger or Amber Heard?
Whatever you do, don't poop on the pillow.
Don't be under that fence.
I'll take my chances with Freddy.
Hills have eyes. The last house on the left. A new.
That's a very good point. Let's take a look at this because we are in Stevie's happy place too. Fun fact: Depp was obsessed. He wasn't asked to be in New Nightmare during the funeral reunion scene featuring the original cast members. He said he would have done it if they'd bothered to ask.
Oh no!
That's crazy.
But I had no idea about this. He did make a small appearance in Freddy's Dead: The Final Nightmare. I had no idea.
Like background character? I don't remember that. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you?
I kind of vaguely remember it because I know that's the one like Roseanne comes out and her husband at the time.
Oh no kidding.
I think Alice Cooper's in that one for like a cameo. Is that the one, Steve? Steven? I'm thinking of the same one. Yeah, I think it's that one. Freddy's Dead.
Stevie's partner Dana says Stevie is the ocean master of today's episode. We had a viewer, Ocean Master, last week who was an expert in Barney Miller and helped us out so much. And yes, Stevie always.
As Stevie's doing now, of course.
Yes. This is your
brain on drugs. See, that's hilarious. When Spencer falls asleep while watching TV. Oh, that's hilarious. Wow, I've not seen this since it hit theaters. I saw it with my dad, which was a rare event. Oh my gosh, you saw Nightmare on Elm Street with your dad, Brody? Holy cow. We both loved it, but literally not seen it since. Well, Mr. Brody, you were a very cool dad, and we wish you happy Father's Day.
I just noticed I have the VHS right here.
Oh, do you really? I had to, I have a weird Father's Day every year because I look exactly like my father. And so at some point, like today I was shaving and I was like, yeah, happy Father's Day, Dad.
Same here, John.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you look a lot like your dad.
Oh, absolutely. He could never deny me. Absolutely not.
All right, let's take a look. So Nightmare on Elm Street, did the sequel take a little time? I seem to remember that Wes Craven was not as fast to turn things around with movies as had previously happened with the other two franchises, Friday the 13th and Halloween. Am I remembering that correctly? Or were they cranking them out every year and a half, which was pretty much at that point the fastest you could crank out a sequel? Also, announcing sequels was a big deal because it's like, really? They're going to do a sequel? I mean, nowadays you'd be like, well, of course they're going to do a sequel to something that was, popular. I just don't know if it'll be any good.
My friend Google says it came out the year after. Part 2 came out the year after Part 1.
Hot on the heels. That's incredible.
85.
Wow.
Yeah, it's my recollection they were pretty just as frequent as the other franchises because you got to strike while the iron's hard on these things,
Yeah, you do. You do. And, it's very much a popcorn movie. I mean, none of us ever deny that. I do want to read Brody's story here. Fun fact, my dad took me to see The Outer Space Connection, which I know I've watched on Amazon Prime. It was a bullshit aliens built the pyramids thing, but my dad thought it was a sequel to The French Connection. He was so pissed.
The Outer Space Connection. The sequel to The French Connection.
That makes sense, doesn't it? I mean, where do you go from France? Outer space?
Now that could be I Come in Peace. That was a movie about drug dealers from outer space. So, maybe. Oh, and look at this. Stevie says Wes Craven wasn't involved in the sequel. He worked on Part 3, but that was it until New Nightmare. Part 2 was 1985.
It was the year after.
New director every film for the original 5 films. Oh, that does not bode well. I don't think that's a good franchise.
Well, you know what? I mean, the first, like many of the franchises we enjoy so much, the first made more of an attempt to be actually scary. And then, of course, the lead antagonist, the monster, got more and more comical as the sequels progressed. So it especially makes sense when we have different directors, each and every film. Yeah.
Now, this is New Line. So they're a relatively new company at the time, I think. And they struck gold, so they're going to keep digging.
Mm-hmm.
Stevie says it worked out well overall. It gave each film its own unique feel, and honestly, I don't hate that either. I've actually enjoyed that about the Star Wars films.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're so inconsistent in the directors, but I like seeing new directors have a new vision, to the thing I like.
I feel like the first 2 Nightmares are the scariest. Like Freddy's the scariest. He doesn't really joke around that much.
I can tell you this without any embarrassment because I've already told everybody I know nothing about horror films. The only Nightmare on Elm Street film I've ever seen was Part 3, Dream Warriors.
Considered to be the best. Considered to be one of the, if not the best, one of the best.
Is it the Wrath of Khan of the Nightmare on Elm Street?
It is. That's considered as it has a song from Dawkins. Dream Warriors. Don't want to sleep no more. Yeah, it has like that epic rock power ballad.
And you know what? As Tiburon suggests, I mean, I believe that Dream Warriors, we start seeing the more comically sadistic Freddy that people seem to enjoy more than the flat out, one-dimensional evil Freddy possibly.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a turning point in this franchise. Absolutely.
I just want to throw this in there since we were talking a little bit about last week when Diana J. Brody was our guest. Brody has been spreading around the show, and she got 700 views on that episode.
Oh, great.
Right? Like, I actually sent her a GIF of Betty White fainting. My reaction. 700. We barely break 100 most of the time, so that's wonderful. And Brody will be helping me find more viewers for the show. But hey, let's get back to what the show is. Let's watch another.
Thank you, Diana.
Yes,
very much.
Masterpiece in fantasy terror, Nightmare
Fantasy
on Elm
terror.
Street.
All right.
And Stevie's right. The narrator's great.
Yeah. I wish I could remember this guy's name, but I do not remember his name. But he's the guy with the rasp.
He did them all, right? Like all these action horror movies. He did all the trailers, right?
Very famous. Yeah.
Someone is coming back
There you
to
go.
Elm Street. He is not friendly.
Oh, got that Wolverine snick going.
Oh, ouch.
And he is not a welcome visitor.
Does it hurt? Every time. Oh, not the jump rope.
Something terribly special for the new kid
that
on
part's
the
creepy.
Oh, what's an eyeball in there?
You've had some scary dreams, okay? Help!
Daddy can't help you now.
There's something inside of you.
Oh, nose on the chalkboard. Ow.
Fight him. I'm not afraid of him. He doesn't even exist.
Freddy Krueger is back on Elm Street.
That's so funny because I was about to say anybody can jump through a French door.
Watch out for him.
You're not turning invisible while you're doing it.
In your
Rey
neighborhood.
Mysterio's here to wrestle.
A Nightmare on Elm Street, Part 2.
There's some Halloween ripoff music there.
Freddy's Revenge.
Oh, I got it as a subtitle.
I
Freddy's
forgot
Revenge.
about the subtitle. They really do go crazy on the titles with this show too. Okay. I don't. Yeah. All right. So oh, really? We're gonna argue about GIF versus GIF?
I'm sorry, John. I have to go with you, Diana, on that one. Jif is peanut butter.
I don't think that's Don LaFontaine, because or the Don, as we used to call him, because the Don was much more of a warm voice, and he didn't quite have that rasp. But if you look it up, and it's Don LaFontaine, I will gladly bow down and admit that I got that one wrong. The possession element is a key part of part 5, so it does tie back. Oh, that's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I don't think it was Don LaFontaine. There's no debate. It's graphic interface. Okay, so you do say graphical. Graphical. Look, no, but I say giraffe. And my love for giraffes. You ask
They're not giraffes.
They're not giraffes. I mean, I don't have a problem saying either, but I do like having fights with my friends over stupid stuff. So that works too. Okay,
That's kind of
everybody,
fights.
are we ready for Dream Warriors?
Absolutely.
These films are very traffic.
Traffic.
Okay, let's take a look at Dream Warriors, which, yes, I do remember this as being the cool one. In a world.
Every time I see that, I think it's gonna be the Brady Bunch. That line coming out, and
Dun, 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 dun. Here's a story.
Oh, a teaser.
A sleepy demon.
guy named Freddy.
Now, Freddy's victims are very innocent. That's different from the victims of Halloween and Friday the 13th. because those are usually kids who are doing drugs and sleeping with their boyfriends and stuff like that.
Well, weren't the guys in the first two at least got kind of himbos? You know, the girls were pretty pure and innocent, as I recall.
Right.
But the guys were horn dogs, as they should be for teenage guys.
Yeah, I mean, look, we got to be accurate. Also, the guys who had those haircuts were, those guys.
But it definitely wasn't just one virgin saved for the end. They, escaped.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh no! Okay, I gotta admit that got me.
A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Oh, that's cool.
Dream Warrior around the corner.
All right, okay. Wes Craven wrote, co-writer.
Yeah. Wow, that's it.
Wow,
Yeah, it was like a teaser, not a trailer.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna say it's a teaser.
Well, I don't know what the next one's gonna be. Dream Warriors. Well, you guys will not let go of this. I think it likes to do it.
John has opened the floodgates once again.
Colin Robinson. Yes, very much. I really do enjoy annoying you guys. They're all the children of the parents who murdered Freddy, which is later explained as they were also the parents of the children Freddy murdered when he was still alive. So it really was Freddy's fault.
He started it. Freddy started.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because there's a clip, and I don't think I've got it, though I do have 100 Robert Englund clips, because Robert Englund was a real actor. And, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to insult the stuntmen who played Michael Myers or Jason Voorhees. And those guys are physical actors. I mean, like, I do give it up to them. I actually like their work when I watch those guys work. But yeah, Robert Englund did a lot of talking. I do like to think of him as the monster who was sarcastic.
It was kind of like Johnny Carson of like the slashers, I think.
Right. And I wonder, I mean, now I was in high school when The Shining came out. And so Jack Nicholson as the horror monster, Jack Nicholson as the killer, gets a lot of laughs. And I wonder if that turns out to be something that affected Freddy. Has anyone ever thought of that?
I've never thought of it, but I think you make a good point. I mean, the timing would be right, certainly. I mean, The Shining came out a couple years prior to Nightmare, and right. Nightmare pretty much the monster was the first funny one in that sense.
Right.
Leatherface and Michael Myers and all the rest, they were deadly serious, so to speak.
Right. And
I think it's a definite possibility, John.
Yeah. As Stevie points out, there's a lot of acting with body language, and it's scary. A lot of that stuff, like, oh, good, he's finally dead, and then he sits up behind her. Like, that stuff's awesome, and it's funny, but it's not verbal. And I do admire that, yes, Freddy had a real personality and was very sadistic. And that's an added element, I think, that makes the Nightmare films even more creepy.
Guys, why do I want to break out into the song suddenly? I mean, because Freddy's got personality. There's that. And I want a dream warrior so I can have a dream with Freddy. Okay, enough.
Let's Freddy's dead. Dun, dun, dun. That's what I said. Okay, here we go. I don't know what this one's for. This might be a full one for Dream Warriors.
Might be Dream Master, maybe.
If it's the fourth one.
Yeah, this is the fourth one. Dream Master. Hello. They replaced Patricia Arquette with this. I forgot this actress' name. Patricia Arquette was in part 3, and then she didn't come back for 4.
Right.
Hate those sudden cloud bursts. Ruins my nice white dress.
Careful on the stairs. And if you're going to be in a Freddy movie, wear a slip. We can see right through that.
Huh. I know, isn't it distasteful, John? Very put off by that.
I was watching some from the 50s, and it was so clear that the woman was trying to get everyone to look at her shapes. She was like, I didn't wear a slip this day. Could you tell?
Don't let them put you to sleep.
This might be my favorite one.
Oh, cool.
The Dream Master.
Remaster.
It looks great. I mean, this is a really good looking series to begin with. Whoa!
Oh, this is the cockroach scene. He turns that girl into a cockroach.
Oh, damn.
Well, you know, cockroaches will be the only ones that survive a nuclear war, so maybe it's a good thing, you know.
I survived a Nightmare on Elm Street movie. The bad news is I'm a cockroach. Okay, so now, Tiburon, you're saying number 4 might be the best of the Nightmare on Elm Street.
I think a lot of people consider either part 1 or 3 the best ones. I think because I grew up watching 4 a lot, like it was always on HBO. It was just I was always watching it. I think it's my favorite, but because of nostalgia, I think it's a fun one.
Fond memories.
It's a fun one.
They didn't want to pay Arquette to return, if I recall correctly, or she wanted to move on. I mean, it's incredibly common to do a movie that is pretty well received and then to get a lot of offers. And you realize that if you keep going back to the horror movie, the offers might dry up. So you want to try to be now in a Scorsese movie. I mean, this is the 80s. So, you know, you might want to be in a John Huston movie. You want a John Hughes movie. You might want to be, you know, Spielberg. You might want to work with some of the best. Not that Wes Craven isn't awesome. He is. I love Wes Craven, actually. But oh my God, you're kidding. There was someone named Tuesday Night. She performed the opening song for Dream Master. And that's who the blonde is, replaced Patricia Arquette.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Wild.
I remember that now.
Tuesday Night.
There's also a song from Sinead O'Connor in there.
Is there really?
It's pretty good. Pretty good song.
I mean, it makes sense that they're able to pay to get you know, some good production values, but also some good music on the soundtrack, stuff like that. Everybody wants to be associated with a hit and with something that's really popular. Although I'm not sure Tuesday Night really made a career move out of this, but God bless her for trying.
It just felt. Yeah.
Oh, go ahead, Tiburon.
It just, you know, it feels like when you would go and get to the grocery store and you would get like Lucky Charms, and then the next month your mom would bring you like Lucky Stars in the giant bag. You're like, what the hell? This ain't Lucky Charms. This is in a bag. And that's what it kind of felt like, you know. You got like Patricia Arquette left.
Like the fruit rounds.
Yeah. Mom, this ain't the same. It's the same thing.
It's
if you want to put it in the same box, if you
exactly. I'm just gonna pour it into the
Tostios.
Oh my God.
It's all those pop cereal boxes you see on the sitcoms, yeah.
I do love also that Nightmare on Elm Street consistently stays at the R rating.
Yes. Not watering it down at all.
A God-fearing woman.
She's really afraid.
Oh, this is. I feel this is when it took a dive.
Oh, this is the terrible like explanation of he's the son of 1,000 maniacs.
Yeah. This is when the series lost me a little bit.
Become a daddy. One of his babies.
What's wrong with me? You're just a little pregnant.
Even
I love that actress.
Adopt.
Read her name.
One baby's dream.
When it comes to chills.
It happened while I was awake.
When it comes to screams.
Wow.
Just start. When it comes to pure terror. Bon appetit. No one delivers.
Freddy wearing his chef's hat.
Freddy, better buckle up.
Wow. This is so abstract. There's like no normal at all in this trailer.
Nightmare on Elm Street 5, The Dream Child.
So warriors to master the child.
When it comes to terror, remember, Freddy knows best.
Hey, there's Rosemary's Baby.
Yeah, that's when the series lost me. I feel like the first 4 are very watchable, rewatchable. After that, it kind of lost me. Oh, Retro Ryan's a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan too.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Let's see. Dream Child Part 5, shot by Stephen Hopkins, and it was his first film. And before that, he directed music videos. That explains why I'm watching this preview. And I'm like, so everything is some extreme visual. That's great. I mean, that's a lot of sets and a lot of great lighting. Oh, and this was the guy who did Predator 2. Predator 2 was a good movie.
Danny Glover.
Yeah, Danny Glover putting the whole thing in the city. Yeah, lots of good people.
I prefer Predator 2 over the first, actually.
I've seen both, and I think I like 2 better. Danny Glover, I just love Danny Glover. There's just something about him.
I'm just getting too old for this shit.
Yeah, we're the Dream Warriors. That's a song right there.
There's
the jam.
Dream no more. And that was Dokken?
Dokken, yep. Dokken. Dokken.
I think Dokken was like one of the only famous bands to ever come out of New Hampshire, but I mean, technically Aerosmith, most of Aerosmith came out of New Hampshire, but all right, here we go. I'm looking at number 6 now, or is this another version of Dream Child?
Well, we got the cradle, the bassinet again.
Looks like Dream Child. Yeah.
That's okay. We'll get another take on Dream Child.
I have no problem watching multiple trailers. I got my ass kicked so hard trying to show Freddy's Nightmares that I got a little once bitten, twice shy. But
I knew that was coming. It still jumped.
A Nightmare on Elm Street Part 5, The Dream Child.
That was the teaser after the trailer.
I have no idea who put this video together for us. Of course, we are very grateful. Igor Spirin.
As a boy,
Shout out
he
to
was
Igor.
always different.
What a weird
No one
thing to chant at
understood
someone. Son of a thousand main, 100.
Goes Alice Cooper right there.
Oh, is that Alice Cooper?
Yeah.
There he is.
No one could control him.
Go inside, honey.
But now, it's a new beginning. The
Oh.
beginning of the end for Freddy.
Every town has an Elm Street.
He's so good.
Ow! Splitting headache there.
It's your mind to go for.
Yaphet Kotto.
I'll get you, my pretty.
Yeah.
I'm melting. Have to hit him with everything we
What?
got.
That was a sticky effect.
Now I'm playing with power.
We're in Twin Peaks here.
Twin Peaks? What? Damn.
It's got to be me and him.
Everything's trapdoors in this movie.
Freddy, what's up?
Now, in the 80s, Yaphet Kotto was the hero, but if you watch Live and Let Die,
Oh, yeah.
What's
good Bond
with
villain.
kids today, huh?
Freddy's dead.
Okay,
The
we've
final
dispensed.
nightmare.
Yeah, right.
Bring back.
We've
They
dispensed
saved
with the
the
Nightmare on
best
Elm Street title.
For
This one.
last.
oh, interesting. We have, haven't we?
And yes, I'm not afraid to admit I'm getting jump scared by the previews.
Hey, that's a good preview. That's what
That's
that's
a
all
good
about. Do you want to see what Stevie
Especially
wrote?
those Wolverine claws come up.
Dream Child is the last of the original quote-unquote timeline films. Freddy's Dead is the 6th film, but it's set in the near future. Oh, that's interesting. It's more like Marvel's The End series of comics as a possible ending. Interesting. And of course, what else?
I just never believe anything. The final one, you know better.
Yeah, the final chapter, the final nightmare. It's never the final.
It's never the final.
Well, it's always final, then the next one's new. And so,
Yeah, the new blood. Yeah.
Here's why I say that Aerosmith is a New Hampshire band. It's because Steven Tyler's family, yes, they did live in Boston, and they would spend summers in New Hampshire at Lake Winnipesaukee. That's where he met Joe Perry and the other boys in Aerosmith. And some of those guys are from New Hampshire. So we don't have a lot in New Hampshire that we could claim was ours. And honestly, if you grew up in New Hampshire, where I did in the southern part, you went to Boston so often that you might as well be a Massachusetts resident. I mean, it was literally 45 minutes from where I grew up to go to Boston. All right, let's get back to Richard. Ryan says, how about Freddy's naps? Short stories of Freddy haunting people napping.
That's an excellent idea.
That would really be, to be clear, I never mixed the band Aerosmith for the band Boston. No, you did not. No, in Boston, they produced in Boston. Let's see. Okay, so Stevie says the Brown Box Nightmare DVD collection is the only way to watch the original 3D version on home video. That's interesting.
Yeah, I think the one you just showed the trailer for was in 3D.
Oh,
you could watch it in 3D.
Dang. Yeah, I remember. A couple of these movies. A couple of horror movies went 3D. Friday the 13th went 3D.
Jaws 3D.
Jaws 3D. I forgot all about that one.
Oh, one of the by far the cheesiest 3D movie ever made was Jaws 3D. Absolutely.
The
shark coming at you, mechanical, and little window shards busting towards you as he goes through.
Did you ever hear of oh my gosh, 3D TV was the 8-track of the 2000s. It was called Space Hunter in 3D.
Oh yeah.
I don't remember.
Trying to remember. I know Molly Ringwald was in it, but I can't remember the guy.
I'm gonna say Robert Urich.
Robert Urich was in Space Pirates. No, Ice Pirates.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay.
Yeah.
But didn't Space Hunter that kick off that 3D trend?
I think so.
Yeah.
Peter Strauss. It was Peter Strauss from Rich Man, Poor Man.
Well, that's quite a progression.
Okay, so Stevie says the final sequence is in 3D, queued up in film when the actress puts on and removes 3D glasses. Well, that's very cool. Actually.
Yeah, you have like Freddy's head flying at you at the end. He like blows up.
That's pretty cool.
Coming at you.
Let's take a look at. So is this number 6 then?
This would be number 7, I think.
I'm doing a film about my nightmares as I'm dreaming.
That's a new nightmare.
For the movie to continue, it was dependent on me having more nightmares. Well, fortunately, I did.
I'm a little frightened by what Wes may have tapped into. I frankly felt that it was over when we did the final nightmare.
In a town where movies go over schedule and directors go over budget,
and overact,
far more evil is out of control. Terror no longer stops at the screen.
The world of horror film suffered its own terror today as 2 of Hollywood's best-known special effects technicians were found dead.
Part of the theme of the movie is becoming a part of the making of the movie.
Can you come with me in my dreams?
I gotta say, it's very not.
I think that only happens in the movies.
It's very not music video now. I like that look. But we're kind of getting there.
Now that the films have ended, the genie's out of the bottle.
This is a very meta Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
That's what the nightmares are telling me, and that's what I'm writing.
This is still a script we're talking about, right, Wes?
I just love how, as an actor, she's terrible, and as a person who's not acting, still terrible.
I think the little boy is the boyfriend character.
What kind of choice?
Little boy.
The little boy. What was that you said, Tiburon?
Isn't he the boy from? I think he's the little boy from Pet Cemetery. The little boy.
could be. I've seen this kid in a bunch of things. He's a really good little actor.
Yeah, he's in Full House.
Stop him.
He was in Full House a lot.
Oh, was he?
It was you that gave Nancy her strength.
You just saw Link from the Evans family going by.
Where's my son?
Oh, is that her son? Wait a minute. It was a movie all along?
Fooled me.
Of course, the staple of all horror movies, you have to have the choir.
It's a requirement.
Ooh.
Get it?
Very, very punny. No fun intended, guys.
All right. That's how about the new Nightmare trailer? Oh, nice. This one is underrated. Stevie says New Nightmare is the 7th film, but not part 7 chronologically, as this is set in the real world where Freddy is a demon trapped and bound in the films.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. They are milking that cow hard.
I'm just nervous that Freddy is now trapped within Retro Rangers. I mean, are we going to see little blades coming out of us, from our computer monitors or what?
Oh, that's amazing. Okay, now I will say ChatGPT has gotten some things wrong in the past, but I don't know that this is that hard a thing for them to find. And I do like ChatGPT sometimes. So ChatGPT says Percy Rodriguez was the VO dude for the trailers, and he did a lot of trailers in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. He did that voice. This is the voice I remember from I think it's like the Dirty Harry movies. Dirty Harry, he's out to kill the killers.
Is that the same guy that goes in a world? Is that
No,
the same guy?
No, because that's Don LaFontaine.
Okay.
And Don LaFontaine has this warming, it's like you're drinking a big warm beverage. But Percy Rodriguez is out there to creep you out.
And Stevie brings up something that I should have caught. Yes, apparently the little boy we just saw was
he was
engaged in the original Pet Cemetery.
Yeah.
He gives Herman Munster a good little slashing in Pet Cemetery.
So awesome.
First, I'm going to play with mommy. Then I'm going to play with you.
All right, I'll turn down the volume on the previews. Oh God, we still got a few previews to go. How many more Elm Street movies were there?
Oh, not enough in my opinion.
Not that many are left. I think this is the
we might double up on a couple of them.
Yeah,
all right.
As far as teasers and trailers.
Yeah, that volume was maximum. There we go. All right, which one is next?
8th in the film series, not chronologically. Make that clear.
Right.
Oh, I know.
Oh, here we go.
My favorite.
Gotta get the whole recap now.
Oh, is this your favorite, Tiburon?
This is my favorite movie with Freddy in it.
Yeah.
For one reason.
Oh no, here we go.
It has Jason.
I think I'm gonna have to watch this one.
Welcome to my night.
Good one.
Oh, that's creepy.
Got what's her name from Beyonce band.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, that was cool.
Kelly Rowland, I think's her name.
Kelly Rowland. Thank you, Tiburon.
She does a dance number with Freddy and Jason. It's kind of weird in the middle of the movie.
Come on.
No, just
it could be true. I don't know. It could be true.
Now, did we get this preview when we did Friday the 13th? I don't think so.
I don't.
This one with that.
I don't remember seeing this one.
Yeah, I don't think so. But okay, all right.
Ugh, we have to watch that trailer too. The remake.
It's part of this video, so I'm gonna make you watch it.
We can't select our history, Tiburon. It is what it is.
Seriously. Story of my life. Okay, that's the building, right? Freddy got Oh, this is that actor who lived in Texas.
Rorschach. I forgot his name. Rorschach.
No, he wasn't.
From
Well, he was
Watchmen.
Rorschach. I thought you were saying he was Horseshack.
No,
Jackie Earle Haley plays Freddy in this. Yes.
Yeah.
I, of course, know him from Bad News Bears originally.
Yes, exactly. Michael Bay. There you go. That's why
all you need to know. All you need to know, Michael Bay.
Hey, even duplicated that shot.
There's this man, and he's burned.
Oh. With Edward.
Don't fall asleep.
Edward Robert Pattinson is saying this?
So we burn our nose with cigarette lighters to stay awake. I guess that's what that was.
This looks pretty well made.
Well, you know what? All the elements were there. It just wasn't the same.
It's pretty.
Good or
It's a
bad.
pretty movie, but that's about it.
But Jackie Earle Haley is Freddy, not Robert Englund.
They recreated some of the scenes from the first one, but they used CGI. It just didn't look great.
Right.
And this is pretty much CGI still in its infancy for the most part.
Yeah. Yeah, 2010.
That's still pretty early.
Yeah,
a lot of it.
A PlayStation 2 game, back in the day, and you're like, man, graphics will never get better. And then you like watch it now, you're like, oh, things have gotten a lot better since then.
Yeah, Stevie says it does look good, but it's a weak film from beginning to end. And then, fun fact: Jackie Earle Haley is the reason Depp is in the original Nightmare film.
Oh, really?
They were friends, and he took Depp with him to audition for the role that Depp ended up getting. That happened.
So I guess what that Stevie, clarify if you can. Does that mean that Jackie Earle Haley was auditioning to be one of the teenagers in the original? I guess that would be about the right time. He would have been that age.
Yeah. I have to say, Jackie Earle Haley as Rorschach in Watchmen, as brought up by Tiburon, he was fantastic. He was probably, I always thought from reading that, graphic novel, it was a comic book. I always thought from reading the comic book that what the artist was going for was, oh my God. The guy from Last Temptation of Christ. He was the bad guy in Speed 2. Willem Dafoe.
Yeah.
And it was like, well, if you're not going to get Willem Dafoe, then who are you going to get? And the fact they got Jackie Earle Haley, who to me will always be the kid from Bad News Bears, or one of the kids. I was amazed by that. Yes. Oh, Brody, thank you. You're right there.
Well, I believe that Watchmen pretty much gave Jackie Earle Haley his kind of comeback, as it were. Yes. I don't remember him doing a lot between his younger years, and I also have to recognize him from Breaking Away.
Oh yes, he was in Breaking Away.
Dennis Quaid and Dennis Christopher and so forth.
Yes,
great coming of age movie there, and he had a great part in it.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah, apparently he had such a hard time getting acting work, and part of that is because Johnny Depp's in there, taking his stuff. But he was not getting cast anymore, so he moved to Texas. He got married, and he started a video production business.
Mm-hmm.
And I think his story was whenever a movie would come down there and shoot, he would usually get on the crew doing something technical, because he had, that's actually a really great thing you learn how to edit, or you learn how to light, or you learn how to do sound. There are other ways of staying in the business. Did I learn any of these things? Not one of them.
Well, I guess the lesson we learned by Jackie Earle Haley as far as the original Nightmare on Elm Street was that just like you don't take a knife to a gunfight, you don't take a better-looking actor to an audition.
I was going to say, I would have picked Johnny Depp over him. He's a good-looking guy. Johnny Depp.
Absolutely. I mean, Johnny Depp, we remember him from 21 Jump Street, right? He was
Oh, yeah.
was like an instant star. I remember them selling him right off the bat, like, look how cute this guy is.
I just want to say, Haley he was good as Freddy, but I think it's just, we're just used to Robert Englund. Like, those are some big shoes to fill.
You are 100% right.
Yeah. I think it would have almost been, as is the case with a lot of remakes and other ripoffs, it might have been better just do something new with Jackie Earle Haley. I don't know. I guess there's pros and cons. I mean, it could have been seen as a ripoff if they just do a straight remake, but the comparisons are inevitable. And as Stevie points out, I have to agree. It just didn't hold up as far as the style and the fun of the original. You know?
Right. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, Nightmare made Depp's career. I mean, he was very featured in the previews. I didn't even see the movie, and yet I knew he had been in it. And then he got 21 Jump Street, and the rest is Hollywood history. I mean, it took him a long time to go from 21 Jump Street to What's He Eating Gilbert Grapes. So I would never say that Johnny Depp didn't earn his way up the ladder. He definitely did. Okay, here we go.
Damn, that's the last movie. What's after this?
No.
Guess that's it.
They did the same thing I do, where they got mixed up with the video clips, people, and they didn't edit it out. Here's, I think, the last one.
Oh, so there's one more. Oh, good. So is this a follow-up to the remake or going back to Robert Englund? I guess we'll find out.
I don't know if this is the next one.
This was the same one. Jackie Earle Haley one.
Oh, just another trailer. Ow!
If you keep falling asleep, they're gonna kick you out of here.
Yeah, this is a Jackie Earle Haley.
Oh, okay.
I had another nightmare last night.
Yeah, that's
I can't tell what's real anymore.
when Depp hit the mid-90s. Its lifestyle was more like 21 Hump Street. Yeah, baby. All the babes life. He was in that video, Tom Petty song, "Great Wide Open" or something. And
he's in that.
He's like the star. He's like the
Into the Great Wide Open.
Yeah, he's the rebel.
We have to
without
acknowledge Edward Scissorhands, obviously. Stevie mentioned Winona. I said, "Oh yeah, Edward Scissorhands."
It's me, it's you, it's Dean, it's Jesse, Chris. No more heads.
Bro, he says the trailer that scared me most as a kid was for the horror movie Magic, the one with the possessed puppet. So creepy, very creepy.
Yes. Anthony Hopkins, right?
I haven't slept in 3 days.
Yes.
With his deranged ventriloquist dummy.
Yes.
Means you're dreaming, but you don't know.
This young guy looks familiar. What else?
Yeah. Well, it's 2010, so we might be seeing him currently and stuff.
Oh God, no, just me.
Yeah, that is the Jackie Earle Haley.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, it is.
That's the last one.
So the one from 2010.
So this is a new nightmare. Okay.
I want to go see this with friends. See, look how bad that CGI looks.
Yeah, that was
terrible.
You know, I have to admit, you're absolutely right, Tiburon. The practical effects from the early movies are much more interesting than using CGI in the later ones.
Yeah, I think in the first one, wasn't like the wall like some rubber thing that Englund pushed into? That looked way better than the CGI.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and not to undermine the accomplishments of our CGI creators, but you know, it took a lot of creativity to do practical effects, especially for things like this.
Oh yeah.
I used to hate CGI. I used to hate it, but now I don't mind it if I can't notice it's CGI. I think when you notice it's CGI, it takes me out of it.
Yes, and there was, I mean, as you had brought up earlier, like in 2010 and earlier, there was the cutscene look. Like, I can't watch the first Avatar movie. It just looks like I'm watching a PlayStation 2 cutscene. And I don't love it. I don't love what I'm seeing. But they've gotten so good now that they actually like build flaws into the CGI to make it look realistic and not smooth and shiny and new.
Oh, okay.
Well, another perfect example of the evolution of CGI. I had a real problem with Will Smith's I Am Legend because it depicted real things like lions and tigers. Oh my.
Yeah.
And they just didn't convince. And then you saw Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Okay, now that's more like it. But even now, you look at the current one, and compared to the first, and you can see the ongoing, evolution of the technology. So,
yeah, it is one of the downfalls of beautiful technology. Is it looks too good, it looks too beautiful to be, to be impressive, to impress your senses and make you think like, oh God, that was real and kind of scary. And I do love
now just for pure transparency. I'm sorry to cut you off, John, but we need to tell our audience that for transparency, none of us are here right now. These three guys, it's all AI generated. So
I'm running off a PS2 right now.
Okay, so the next thing we're gonna look at is isn't that interesting? Okay, great conversation going on in the comments right now. Stevie, of course, brings up the NES game developed by Rare, released by LJN, and some comics of Nightmare on Elm Street. And Ryan says most people dislike it and Friday the 13th for NES. Oh, no, wait. I'm reading the wrong one. Nightmare on Elm Street, NES, one of my favorite NES games ever. Stevie says, right? Most people dislike it and Friday the 13th for NES, but they're solid games. Okay, talking about I Am Legend, Brody says, plus the ending of I Am Legend was garbage. It was. They shot a better one, but studios nicked it in favor of the stupid ending.
Yes.
Blame test audiences for that. I knew it. And Ryan says, green screen is what makes things look stiff and unnatural sometimes. That is true. And sometimes it's really hard to act when they're like, okay, I'm holding a stick with a tennis ball on it. And the tennis ball is the eye line for the monster. And I want you to look at the tennis ball and be more afraid than you've ever been in your whole life. And maybe you get like 5 good takes of that, but they always get 25 takes from you. So they don't always get the best takes they can get. Sometimes they're like, oh, I really liked the lighting one where John's going, ah. And so that's what ends up getting in the movie because they like the lighting the best on that one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, the acting is definitely there, John, but but in terms of the method, I mean, have you ever been creamed by a fast coming tennis ball to your head? It hurts. It's fearful.
It's one reason why my nose is constantly signaling for a right turn. No, left turn.
That was a tennis ball accident.
Actually, a baseball. That's why I stopped playing the outfield when I was a little kid. All right, these are. This can't be all the previews for Freddy's Nightmares. It can't be, but it might be. So we can cut ahead anytime you want. We can bail out anytime you want. But I have watched some of these, and they are really worth watching. The TV shows themselves are not available on YouTube. YouTube got mad at me when I tried to show them, but we will have on our various social media mediums, yeah, that's the plural. We will have the link to go find the series on Daily Motion, or you can just go to Daily Motion, put in Freddy's Nightmares, and I believe they have the complete collection, so that could be fun. I know I'll be watching them in the future.
Well, especially that pilot, now that I know that it's actually about Freddy and gives us more insight into this complex psychological person.
Okay, so this is the preview from the Freddy's Origin episode of Freddy's Nightmares. I can tell you that much because I got really roughed up by YouTube for trying to show this several different ways and times.
Oh, we can't see it.
Oh shoot! I'm just watching it myself, and you're watching me watch it.
Are you enjoying yourself, John?
Yeah. What does it look like? Does it look good?
I've done this so many times. It's so embarrassing every time.
Here comes Steve. He's going to comment on that.
Actually, let's go through some of the comments because, of course, they're hilarious. Okay, so Freddy's Nightmares, 80s syndicated TV series. Not surprised commercials are hard to find. Dina says language accuracy is why I watch this show. Ryan says, I have a question, though. I've always wondered, they use CGI to save the money of physical sets and props and practical effects, but guess what? The CGI costs a fortune, too, to pay the time, work, and employees. That's true. So what makes it cheaper to do CGI? Quality control is a big part of it. Oh, those flames aren't big enough. Make them bigger. That scream isn't scary enough. Sweeten it up. Can you do that on a practical set? Yeah, you can, but you have to get the set. You have to get the crew. You have to get the actors. You have to feed them. You have to make them safe. So you have to hire security. If you can do all of that in a studio where you're not fighting weather, you're not fighting, oh, the sun's going to come up soon. All the things that can go wrong on a movie set cost so much more money than CGI. And I just remembered, now this is anecdotal, so keep that in mind when I say this, but when they were making, it was the TV series about the space station, Babylon 5.
Yeah.
Thank you. When they were making Babylon 5, even at the time that they were making it, they had figured out how to do all of the special effects CGI that they were doing on 2 Macs. They had 2 Macs. That's all they needed. Now, granted, you need the talented artists to work in it, and they have to make things look good. And granted, you're going to watch Babylon 5 now and go, yeah, that was 2 Macs, all right.
I actually found it on Tubi, I think, and I said, I haven't seen this in years. Let me have a look. And I go, okay.
And the acting is terrible. The directing is terrible. I mean, it is so low budget, but the writing was all right. I liked the writing. Strastusky? I can never figure out his name. Here's Stevie. Freddy fact: Freddy's Nightmares episodes are 2 individual stories with characters from story A appearing in story B. Oh, that's cool.
I'd forgotten that.
That's a good reason to watch that. VFX studios are contracted, so no money if they go overtime. Oh, if they go overtime, yeah. So I mean, one of the things they say a lot is, "Why, thank you, Ryan. I live to serve, my friend." One of the big complaints in Hollywood, especially in the last 20 years, has been how incredibly underpaid the artists are who do CGI. So a lot of times when you see bad CGI, it's because of budget, and they were trying to stay, below a certain line. So maybe they didn't hire the best people. Maybe they hired the assistant of the best people. And those people are, they're just not making enough money from what they say. So it's entirely possible that things could be a lot better than they are. It's just they're just not paying the money. And Brody knows VFX people like I do, and they get ripped off big time. They really do. They don't get paid for enough for what they do. All right, let's see the rest of this preview.
It looks great already.
Saturday night at 8 p.m. So that's UHF right there. KTK.
Looked like Springwood had lost a winner.
You're off the team. What?
Until a special gift appeared from the past.
I'm a bullet. I'm a missile. I'm a rocket to the moon.
That's now she's
Lori Petty, isn't it? That's Tanker.
Tracy Nelson.
But does she have what it takes to put her away?
She'll need a little killer instinct.
On the next Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh.
The world of girls track will never be the same.
Wait, there's Jason again.
Yeah. Night out.
Tonight is Halloween.
And he wants her to party hardy in a non-stop nightmare.
Hey, isn't that the old dude from the Unforgiven video? Metallica Unforgiven?
You'll see Freddy's horrors unmasked.
Oh my God. This is like Halloween 2. My favorite Halloween.
It looks like a mishmash of Halloween and Friday 13th and Nightmare.
So he's out to find his dream date.
So you're looking for an attractive young woman to share your life.
And he gets her.
It's nice to meet you, Mary.
Now, Gordon's in heaven.
Can't say no to me, Gordy.
Or Is he in
Little
hell?
babe from the day.
So how do you think they figured out how to get viewers for this show? The previews get really horny.
These beautiful twins are very connected to a
They knew what sold.
Freddy's there every time I close my eyes. I don't see him.
Oh, you act like
But she's
twins.
beginning to see the
Twin
frogs.
actors.
My dream, and he got you.
So they trade places, only to
Let's
find
trade
twice
There you
places.
go. Yeah, that makes
on
sense.
the next Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy's Nightmare.
Like Freaky Friday with Freddy.
One of the things I love about Freddy is Freddy knows where his light is. Wait. So Stevie says VFX artists are treated like software developers, game developers. They get hosed. Yeah, I've heard that a lot. The video effects shop that put the tiger in Life of Pi weren't even thanked by the director at the Oscars and may have gone under after. I remember that. And it was actually pretty good, the Life of Pi, but it was a lot of special effects.
Well,
If I
yeah,
recall
it's like-
correctly, show was given a lot of leeway with its content, especially season 1. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm sorry, I interrupted. Joe, were you gonna jump in?
No. I was just reacting to something, and as we do on this show. But yes, I mean, I think I was going to back you up on the comments for Life of Pi. Is that the CGI tiger was half the movie? Literally, it's one of 2 characters for the most part.
Yeah, like very, very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
Father and his new home.
This house has been empty.
He's a
since
kid
Freddy's
who
birthday.
can't stop taking
Really like
videos
the new neighbor.
because
No
that's
one
the
to
80s.
take
for
care of you.
And when their wild
Wait!
gets out of
Is
control,
that
Sarah
her?
Silverman?
I was about to say that. Is that Sarah?
now he's
I
the
think that's
new
Sarah.
head of the
Oh, I'm
family.
taking it back.
Empty since the
Take
Freddy
it back, John.
birthday.
But
Yeah,
in
it's her. It
real
sounds just
life,
like
the
her.
new neighbor.
No one to take
Here we go.
care of you.
And when their
That's
wild
her.
party gets out of control, so does Daddy.
That's awesome.
Now he's the new head of the family.
The honeymoon is over.
On the
Uh-oh.
next Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Nightmares.
This predates Tales from the Crypt, huh?
Oh, right.
Does it?
This dream machine be his ticket out of Springwood.
Well, maybe not. Maybe they might have overlapped.
Or send him on a highway to hell.
Yeah, my memory of
For
this
sure.
is that it was like in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, 87, 88. Maybe?
Gavin's about to get married.
It just keeps jumping ahead. I want to come back. Oh, really? So Tales from the Crypt, the series, was in 89. So that, I think, does mean that this one predates it. Let me see. Freddy's Nightmares, 88 to 1990. Yeah, that's how I
So there was a slight overlap then with Nightmares coming first.
Mhm.
Yeah. And Tales from the Crypt, I mean, that's a great show.
Yeah.
That is a great
That went
freaking
like
show.
6-7 seasons, right? Tales from the Crypt.
7 seasons.
Yeah. Oh, wow. See, but that doesn't surprise me because it was a big hit. And they, it was kind of like how they do shows now where they didn't do like 32 of them or like 28 of them. They did a much smaller number. So they were able to keep the quality really high.
Man's
I believe Tales from the Crypt
So
was
his friends are
10 to 12
throwing
years.
him a bachelor party.
One last fling. The triumph of male hormones.
What will his one-night stand
Presenting the stripper.
become a date with?
You're right, John. They're getting more horny.
Look at Freddy with the chain.
Oh, look at Freddy with the DJ.
Gangster Freddy.
Fab Five Freddy.
Johnny's been having nightmares.
Can handle a few bad dreams.
They're real killers.
Last night he got my parents.
He got my pants? Wait, what?
Is that his parents?
I think he's
His parents. Oh, God. All right. I mean, horny, but
Got my
still.
parents.
Yeah.
We can
With
go with
the
pants if
reason.
you want.
On the next Nightmare on
The
Elm
town I
Street,
used to live in, this is the
Freddy's
signal we got on
Nightmare.
our UHF too.
Amy's haunted by a bad dream.
It was my fault.
How did you
Ooh.
do that?
I dreamed it.
A nightmare that could be real.
The little girl in the car.
The fun is looking for celebrities we know now.
Does she have the power to change the past?
And bring back my mother.
Or will
Sure.
Freddy destroy her future?
Accidents.
Giving me
On the
Unsolved
next
Mysteries by
Nightmare on
for
Elm
some
Street.
reason. Some other
Freddy's Nightmare.
Waiting for Robert Stack to come out.
Why did she fall from the ladder? We may never know. Bob Saget stuntman.
Bob Saget
Be his own obituary.
He does look like Bob Saget.
On the next Nightmare on Elm Street, the series,
The
Freddy's
Kroger brand Bob Saget.
They're running away from mom and dad.
Hey,
Wait,
Brad Pitt? Is that
that is
Brad
not
Pitt?
Brad Pitt, is it?
I bet it was, Jack. Back it up.
It is
That
Brad
is-
Pitt.
That's Brad.
That is
You know
freaking
what?
Brad Pitt.
Around this time, Brad Pitt was also on Dallas.
Was he really?
Bobby's second girlfriend on the show, played by Priscilla Presley. Her daughter on the show, he played the boyfriend to the daughter.
Oh my God. I had no
We've been on
idea.
the same time frame.
Director of Dream Child directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt. That makes perfect sense. Oh, that is.
I think we got a lot of cross section of the talent too, as far as the actors.
Yeah.
So I recognize
Well,
quite a few of these from Tales from the Crypt.
I mean, that would make a lot of sense. You know, a lot of times they can share like associate producers and they can, you know, basically somebody finishes up a job and they're like, well, what's my next job? Everybody I know is in horror, so I'm going to end up on another horror project.
Right.
You know, and nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's how you make your connections. What sucked for me was every TV show I did led to a smaller TV show until finally all the people I knew who were like, yeah, man, I'm not in the business anymore. I'm like, yeah, pretty much me either. Every once in a while I pick up a commercial, but I'm no Brad Pitt.
Hey, John, would it be possible to go full screen on these?
Oh, yeah.
So crazy. Brad Pitt.
Here we go.
Freddy Krueger.
Nightmare on
That's
Elm
nuts.
Street, the series.
I
Check
didn't
out
even
the
know
big brain on Brad.
he was doing
He
he was doing TV work. I mean, he was doing syndicated TV work.
He can't
Yeah.
quite seem to fit in.
We're going to have to take some drastic action.
And he's about to learn a lesson he'll never forget.
You'll never get away with this. I'm going to report you to the school board.
I'm gonna shove you onto a bus.
There's that school bus again.
The series.
We're gonna.
Now, why does Freddy have to have a cheaper makeup and mask?
Seriously, they give him like a pullover mask from, you know, the drugstore.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, Mile High Club, baby.
My button worked. Oh, my button
There we
worked.
go.
I come with a soundboard.
Oh, this is actually a famous actor too. Shoot.
Is this the guy in the Twilight Zone on the wing here?
Adam's about to meet
I mean,
the girl of his dreams.
I was gonna say, is that like
His
the
fatal
Shatner
attraction is more
Twilight
than
Zone
just a
episode?
one-night stand.
How many of these previews use the phrase "one night stand"?
Mine now.
Falling in love means
Not
never
enough in
having
my
to say
opinion.
you're sorry.
Better learn the look.
He could have sold that
On
bat
next
better, brother.
Nightmare on Elm Street, the series, Freddy's Nightmare.
I'm glad they.
Freddy looks okay there. He just needs to leave his hat on, you know. No bald Freddys.
But her boyfriend doesn't believe the pen is mightier than a sword.
See if you can draw with hamburger for a hand.
So Jack's gonna sketch up a little revenge
Oh.
by entering Freddy's drawing room.
Ow.
I'm sure you'll find plenty of inspiration.
Oh my god!
Freddy's Nightmare.
Can't admit though, I would watch this.
This looks awesome.
Well, I'm going to dailymotion.com as soon as we're done here.
Oh, I do. I do have to agree that early Brad Pitt mullet is no notes. No notes. It was a classic comic series produced by HBO with big names attached. A lot of big names, actors and directors were on Crypt. Yeah, Crypt was Crypt of Horror. What? Help me out.
Well, may I, John?
Please,
Tales from the
my
Crypt was one
brain's-
of 3 horror titles produced by EC Comics by Bill Gaines in the 50s.
Yes.
And of course, Bill Gaines of Mad Magazine fame. And they died out because the Comics Code Authority came into play, and they basically had to stop doing them. And so whenever you watch Tales from the Crypt, you're going to see that various stories are adapted from tales from any one of those 3 titles: Vault of Horror, Crypt of Terror, and Tales from the Crypt.
That's fantastic. The second comic artist Freddy kills in the franchise. That's hilarious.
What's he got against comic artists? If he doesn't get after me.
All right. I'm sorry that the audio is so badly synced. I don't think there's anything we can do about it.
I think the visuals are the fun part anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty true.
Some of the visuals are very nice.
What's up with these two? It's like the Rain Oompa Loompas or something. Oh wait, what's going on here?
By cooking up a little finger
What? Yikes! Jesus.
You know, that's a pretty good monster.
It's like a warthog.
That looks like Freddy was just watching that one. I don't even think he was involved in that one.
He might have just been Rod Serling in that one, or the Crypt Keeper.
Lots of gunshots in that one. Freddy goes to Texas.
I see we've dropped the Nightmare on Elm Street title again.
Got a crush on the Wicked Witch of
Now it's just Freddy's Nightmares.
Interesting. I wonder if we're in season 2 yet. Might be.
Probably so.
Hello.
Hello.
Library's getting more fun.
Is that Elvira? That's not Elvira. Oh no, that's not Elvira.
No, that's not Cassandra. I'll tell you what, Freddy's a busy guy, man. He's terrorized so many people.
Yeah.
Good for him.
This is what happens when you go into syndicated television.
Television therapist tries to drag Freddy into prime time.
Bad idea, but
Will the shrink's method succeed?
Wow. So that one guy kind of looks like Michael J. Fox, and the other guy kind of looks like Harry Dean Stanton.
Freddy's Nightmares.
That could be intentional.
Tabloid reporter on assignment.
Where am I going?
If we can't get Michael J. Fox, give us a Michael J. Fox
An editor
type.
on the war.
Hey man, I took more than one Randy Quaid job, let me tell you.
And an eminent deadline.
wonder how far that reporter's willing to go.
Boy, that's a good preview. A guy making a face into a phone.
Yeah. Do a little head shake action.
I don't know. I just see.
Moving to Springwood.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be Nightmare on Elm Street if there wasn't somebody in a bathtub with their legs wide open,
waiting for those claws to come out. Yeah.
Stevie says, "I'm just old enough to remember watching this show when it originally aired." And Adina says, "These are getting faster and faster."
I know they're like really short. Dime store Elvira.
It's not nearly as much fun as it was, but
Neighbors may take some getting used to.
Hey, as long as they give us the best shots from each episode, I'm fine. Like the hottie in the library, for example.
Yes.
Okay, we know her.
Find
I don't know her name.
I don't know her. What?
Very familiar to me.
Yeah.
Well, now we know her for real good.
I look at her and I'm like, Priscilla Barnes? No.
No. Is that Lindsay Wagner?
So an X.
No, not quite.
Into the picture. Hey, babe. But who will pay the high cost for
You're right, though. A lot of these actors and actors, they kind of look like other people.
Special Halloween treat on
She kind of looked like Michelle Pfeiffer back in the day.
This one looks like Freddy's actually in it. The episode.
Yeah. So that looks cool.
Well, sometimes Freddy's a participant, sometimes he's a voyeur, you know. It's kinky that way.
Freddy likes to watch.
Or have they had just one drink too many?
On a bottle alone.
So now that looks like Ron Livingston.
Freddy's Nightmares.
Am I wrong?
Hang on.
These are definitely blink or you'll miss it previews.
Early edition, anyone? Friday Night Lights? No.
Well, it's not. I don't think it's Ron Livingston, but I think I know the action you mean.
Yeah. Nice. So he's like the cute Ron Livingston.
No. Don't touch that dial.
I love that.
I'm gonna have my own nightmares tonight because all I see over and over again is this.
Yeah.
David Landers stars as Lenny, a lottery addict dying to win.
David Landers.
Come on, 19.
While his wife plays other games.
I killed him.
But did Lenny die with a winning ticket?
Where was it?
The suit that Lenny was
Oh,
sparing.
first I thought she was topless.
Or is his widow having a $20 million nightmare?
Wait a minute, is that Lenny?
I think that's good old David Lander. Yes.
Oh yeah, they did say David Lander. Hello.
Oh.
Hello. Where's Lenny?
Oh, because he'd be the squig tones, wouldn't he?
He'd be squiggy, yes.
With a mean streak. Ow, that's gotta hurt. But his cutting remarks could cost him his life.
If I keep
Oh, I
insulting
love the
people all the
puns.
time, I'm going to alienate every listener we've got. That's ridiculous.
Oh, talk radio. That's very popular.
Now, is this mime?
He's a shock jock.
Or is Rick really just fighting with himself?
A mime is a terrible thing.
Oh boy, the puns are flying.
A mime. They did a mime joke. Oh my god, that's crazy.
Quiggy.
Freddy's Nightmares is framed as Freddy fondly recalling non-film kills. Oh, that's hilarious. That is hilarious.
Oh, he's in every episode, not just as a host.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I like
Hello,
that.
Laverne.
Randy Quaid is the dime store John Webber. I agree with that completely. John Webber's the original.
Yes, that's right. That's right. Oh, good Lord. I was fighting with YouTube over our episode that we did about Homeboys in Outer Space, which they're limiting anyone being able to see, which means I officially am seen by fewer people than I ever could have been seen by.
What country did it get banned?
It's one of those basically all countries that start with a vowel, including the United States. I'm trying to clean it up. I made all sorts of, like, come on, yeah, we transformed it. It's fair use. Here's the thing. Here's why they were mad. Because the Homeboys in Outer Space musical theme, they thought was a Casey and the Sunshine Band song from the 1970s. And the fact that the voice, there's no singing in the song. It's a voice going, the Homeboys in Outer Space were flying in their space hoopty through the galaxy. How in the world could you make that mistake? So I have to tell YouTube, no, your algorithms are wrong. And I have a feeling YouTube doesn't care.
That's not even the same cadence as.
Yeah, what song did it think it was? Like, babe, I love you so. Like that. It doesn't sound.
It wasn't that one, but I think they thought it was like, that's the way I like it or something. But it's, there's a sound that Casey and the Sunshine Band had that lots of other bands had. Are they getting their videos taken down too? Oh, it just makes me so mad. Let's watch a few more of these.
Well, your man busted out this morning. His father's paying a visit.
His father's paying a visit.
Why wouldn't think twice about throwing you away? Daddy's out of prison, but will Jack ever be free? They say that breaking out is hard to do.
Looks like son could beat his father's ass.
Seriously.
An out gambler.
Got the money.
And a down and out scientist.
I have no idea what's going on.
Is, however, a first-class dream.
This looks especially terrible. Like the lighting guy didn't show up that week.
Find out on the next.
You can see the decline
aliens
in the quality.
Seriously.
What's on my mind tonight?
Now, I remember running across these previews and just going. I just keep going. None of these shows.
Well, the problem is you don't want to cut it off because you might miss a really great one or two. I don't know about you guys. I'm in it for the duration. So
cool.
Oh, this guy returned.
On Freddy's Nightmares.
How do you put your hat on, Freddy? You look better with it. I tell you.
Did you lose your hat?
Kind of a pointy head.
Can you give Freddy a new hat, folks?
Is that the dad from the Wonder Years?
That's
No,
Dick
that's not him,
Gautier.
Oh, okay.
That is Dick Gautier. He's a great comic actor from the 70s.
Jaime the Robot, get smart.
Jaime the Robot, that's right.
Donald's a hypnotherapist.
In a moment, I'm going to count to
Well,
three.
the audio's already gone to the next one.
And you remember
Oh, okay. I was like, is it just me that the audio is not matching the video?
The audio's really ahead now.
I don't know.
Or will Donald dream up a way out?
I hear you can
Oh.
make a man do just about anything.
I like the stylistic choice of this episode with all the grain and red blotchiness and everything.
I would say that this was taken from VHS, but honestly, I feel like somebody just smushed the tape into YouTube.
She's got one hubby on ice, another one in the cellar, and a lover with a murderous plan.
I love it.
You see me, you're gonna be an unmarried woman.
Will Greta ever find happiness in small-town Springwood?
I gotta get a good look at Greta here.
Springwood
Is that
as
Mary
a
Crosby?
On the next
Check
Freddy's
out that
Nightmares.
mustache on that dude.
I think that was Mary Crosby.
That looks like Mary Crosby to me.
I think so. Yeah, she shot JR. Now she's doing Freddy's Nightmares.
To take them hunting.
So where is this dweeb? Come on, we're a little early.
Dweeb.
He'll be here.
Now they all want a shot at a different kind of game.
You're gonna sleep with me. You better get going.
What?
We died and gone to play.
Oh my God, that's Tony Dow.
They come
That's Beaver's older brother.
Tony Dow,
What?
Sandal Bergman,
Sandal Bergman.
Freddy.
Boing. Ah, yeah.
Oh, you needed the boing.
Trouble with
Here you
teeth.
There's your Springwood.
go. I got you. Your Springwood.
Sandal Bergman, of course, from the original Conan the Barbarian movie. Hot. Oh my God, she's so hot.
Pretty hot vampire, look like.
You peeing. Must be
Oh.
pretty good.
Oh, good. Apparently, Warner tested a home video release in 2003 with a single DVD in the UK. It sold poorly, so they gave up the whole thing. Oh, that's terrible.
Oh, that's a tragedy.
Oh, so this is not available on physical media?
I think not, which is wild. So I don't know how the ones that are on Daily Motion got there. I don't know, man. Springwood, Ohio is where all the films are set, though it's technically Los Angeles in the original film and script, though it's never mentioned by name in the film. And Brody says, gosh, Freddy, we're worried about the beaver.
Freddy rode hard on the beaver last night.
It changes to Springwood, Ohio later on to give it a small town feel they thought would be lost by being set in LA. Hey, man, I mean, the Leprechaun series was able to include the hood, so I think that's a weakness on the part of.
I feel really cheated, actually. We don't get Freddy in space.
You should record.
Oh, yeah. We need that.
But they're dirty little games.
A dirty little game.
Murder.
Your fantasy message is arousing some wacko out there.
And Kim's fantasy has turned into a real nightmare.
Kim's fantasy.
On the next Freddy's Nightmares.
Dollar Store George Wendt. Dollar Store Dad from Blossom. All right, move along, Freddy. Come on.
Alex is a sculptor.
Alex is a sculptor. Wait, come back and watch it. It's a TV show about a sculptor.
Maybe I should just kill myself.
So he decides to fake his own death.
The critics will eat this up. And we'll be
Oh, I do remember seeing these actors, but I don't know what they're called.
Nightmare.
The best insurance for my investment is to kill you.
Did you guys ever rock one of those mustaches back in the day?
Not me.
No. Joe had a mustache that came with its own porn bass.
I admit it's true.
We got some pictures of Joe's mustache that are incredible. My dad could never grow a mustache, and my mom used to make fun of him when he tried. So I never did, but eventually I just grew a beard. Box cutter games, do not play them, kids.
On the next Freddy's Nightmares.
Lots of screaming in that one.
That's a good screaming
I need
fest
to
there.
see you, Paul, now.
His mistress is restless.
I'm prepared to do whatever it takes.
And there's no
Come on,
telling
come on.
how far she'll go.
I want you out here now.
Every episode seems to have to do with sex or something.
Oh
so-
yeah, baby.
Oh, you think
yeah.
so? People?
Is that
It's before tramp stamps, obviously.
Don't touch that dial.
Private Selection, O.J. Simpson?
Tony Dow and Sandal Bergman are recovering cannibals.
Wait a minute, that's from 3 years ago.
How off is this soundtrack?
Who just fell
There
off
he is.
the wagon.
They came back.
Take just one bite.
But this time, they bit off more than they can chew on Freddy's Nightmares.
Well, at least we get one more beaver joke.
Beaver jokes.
I need you.
Oh my
So beaver, don't act so creepy, you little goof.
He's the last comfort for a condemned woman.
Oh my God! Again, Tony Dow, and Sandal Bergman. I'm just thinking, like, well, hey guys, we really wrapped this episode up quick. Do you want to do another one? Sure. They're like, oh, do we get paid again? Like, yeah, sure, you'll get paid again, absolutely. Adidas says, I demand Freddy in space. What petition do I need to sign?
Well, you know what? It stands to reason that Tony Dow would do 2 of these because his best friend was named Freddy, right? Freddie Haskell.
Freddie Haskell. Oh my God! Wait a minute. No, that's Eddie Haskell.
Oh, it was. You're right. His son was
close,
Freddie
man.
Haskell.
And that is a lovely Star Trek bathrobe you are wearing today, Mr. Townsend.
Oh, thank you, courtesy of Capt'n John.
That's my
Appreciate
Eddie
it.
Haskell invitation. That's a stunning house dress you're wearing, Mrs. Cleaver. The conceit of Freddy's curse is that he's restricted to Springwood so he could specifically hunt the rest of the Elm Street children that he was killing.
There you go.
That is true. Brody says the softcore elements of this must have appealed to people who couldn't afford Cinemax on cable from back in the day.
Oh, we used to love us some Skinamax, didn't we, John?
Oh my God. Well, that's why I know a lot of films that Sandal Bergman was in. Freddy's reach extended during the events of Dream Master Part 4 after he kills the last of the Elm Street children in Act 1 of that film. He uses Alice to extend his reach to a new class. Oh, that's interesting. And then Stevie says Freddy's Dead is Freddy's attempt to escape Springwood after he's killed all the children there, but requires his own child to breach a literal barrier. Interesting. I kind of like them putting that level of detail into it. All right, maybe Brad Pitt came back. How did Tony Dow come back, but Brad Pitt did not?
Well, by then he was doing Thelma and Louise, probably.
Yeah. It looked like Brad Pitt circa Thelma and Louise.
He was really unknown when he did Thelma and Louise, so that makes sense.
Here we go again.
How do you get locked up there?
Yeah, I want to go to that prison.
Confession, Freddy laughs. I don't know. Not a very strong commercial for Catholicism.
You should not be releasing him.
There is nothing that I can do. The prison
Ew.
strength, though.
Is this Unsolved Mysteries?
No one gets away with murder.
Oh, Penny Johnson.
Hey, there's Penny Johnson.
Oh, I love Penny Johnson from Deep Space Nine. And she was in Larry Sanders.
Orville, but before that, I'm sorry, John, Larry Sanders. You're right.
Become a believer. Your body.
And she was great on 24.
Oh yeah.
Tunes into Freddy's channel.
Here's a whole bunch of kids to kill.
On the next. That shit shouldn't mess with the dead.
Is that Roby?
I don't think so, but I think Roby's hairdresser worked on this show.
Yeah, probably so. But hey, she's not bad.
No, she looks good.
Oh, the rap.
Ready rap. Oh, it went to 9 o'clock. The Muscat race here.
The Fat Boys. What wasn't this the Fat Boys?
The Fat Boys. Oh my God, is that? I think that's the Fat Boys.
Yeah,
it is the Fat Boys.
Freddy song.
Friday night at 9 on WPTT.
That's amazing. The Fat Boys.
Hey, there's just more to hack, you know.
Did you know Will Smith had his own too? Nightmare on Elm Street rap.
He did actually. I was going to bring it up because I remember listening to Sirius XM one Halloween, and I was suddenly it's like a Fresh Prince song with Freddy Krueger in it. It's worth listening to. I know we would get copyright dinged, so I couldn't.
But again, just search for it on your own, folks. I'm going to do it. I want to hear it.
The only lore I'm not 100% on is Freddy's Nightmares because, well, it is hard to find it all. And aside from the pilot, it's light on lore, and none of the events are important otherwise. Yeah, and you really kind of get that feeling, too. The show was syndicated, so different station and time in each market. And depending on the market, sometimes it's like Sunday at 1 a.m. or something.
Yeah.
Like, I always loved syndicated shows like that because they were usually cheap and fun. But yeah.
Freddy's this came at it pretty much came at the dawn of. I'm going to attribute it to Star Trek Next Generation in terms of first run syndication really taking hold.
Good point. They
This
were
would have been just a couple years later,
Yeah. Star Trek Next Generation, and then of course there was Legends of Hercules or Legendary Adventures of Hercules.
Right.
And of course there was Xena. Some of those shows were really holding it down and really successful, like making great money for Next Generation was making so much great money for Paramount that Paramount was like, we're going to keep doing this. All right, I think this is just one last one, so here we go.
We're going to savor it then.
I think we've gotten to the last of them.
Control and enter the dark.
Oh, now these guys are playing it Friday nights at 9
where nightmares come alive. Experience this world every week on Freddy's new television series.
Well, this is like a series trailer.
What is this?
Freddy's Nightmares. Don't let him catch you sleeping.
Oh, nasty.
Oh, man. Well, now that makes me want to watch the series.
Well, I've been wanting to watch the series since the first trailer. Especially with the Brad Pitt and Tony Dow.
Yeah. So now I've just got some sort of random stuff. Let me take a look at what these clips
we love random
are.
stuff.
We could watch them or we don't have to. Totally up to anybody.
I vote yes.
Okay.
Here's
why stop now?
Preview for New Nightmare. Why stop now? Good point. Oh wait, no, we already saw this one.
A film about
Yeah.
nightmares as I'm dreaming.
So this one runs a little long.
The following program is classified MA. The
Classified
network
MA.
advises that it is
Is this like
suitable
BBC
only
or
for
something?
mature audiences.
Some violence
It
and a bit of
contains some
horror.
violence and horror.
Hurrah!
This is called Stars on the Set. So I think this is from the pay channel Stars. And it's a 13, almost 14-minute on the set with Freddy versus Jason.
Oh, what more can you ask for?
The nightmare began.
Trailer.
And then in 2003, the legends come together. Face to face mask.
Ugly mug to ugly mug.
I love how it sounds like a wrestling pay-per-view commercial. The match everyone's been waiting for.
They even did a weigh-in at Las Vegas.
Did they really?
They did like a boxing style weigh-in in Las Vegas.
That's so great.
Mhm.
I don't know who's doing publicity, but they know what they're doing. Ken Kersinger.
Yeah.
Was that Jason?
He was a Jason in this one.
It's Jason Ritter.
Hey. Come and knock on our door. Oh, sorry, that was Dad.
That was Dad. Of course, yeah. Jason Ritter, son of John Ritter.
Good idea, but now that it's all come together, I finally get to see it. I say, this is a great idea. This is the ultimate, roller coaster ride. And
I like how they're really selling it too. This is a great idea. Freddy and Jason together.
Which implies at first he didn't think it was a great idea. I gotta say, I don't know if I would go that far to get people to look at my cleavage, but Interesting choice.
That's the final girl right there. Yeah, they did a literal weigh-in. Mm-hmm.
Director on an actor with more emotional eyes. Jason only has one.
Yeah, a lot of fans were mad.
Get poked out? Does I get poked out at some point?
Fans were mad that there were two eyes there.
No, they were mad that they replaced the actor that played Jason and the ones before it. Kane Hodder was his name.
Well, I can understand this since the character had no dialogue and limited motion. not easily replaced.
I met one of the Michael Myerses. I worked with him.
Oh, really?
And I would mention which one he was. He was the one from H2O. He was the one from the 20th.
Oh, okay, the one with LL Cool J.
H2O.
Yeah.
And every time I would mention him to my horror friends, they were like, he was not one of the good ones. Damn. He was a really sweet guy. I really enjoyed working with him.
I thought that movie was fun.
Now, Tiburon, what do we know about the original Michael Myers mask? You know a bit of trivia about that?
Yeah, that was Shatner, right?
That's
Shatner's
right.
mask, painted white.
That's it.
Did you know that for the second one? I don't know what I was watching a documentary that they just stored the mask under someone's bed or something, the Halloween mask, and that's why it looks all weathered in part 2.
Well, I mean, kind of maybe an unintentional effect, but effective.
Okay, so Freddy gets behind running water and Jason can't touch him.
They made this whole thing where like Jason is afraid of water and Freddy's afraid of fire. They did like a whole water fire element thing.
I mean, that makes sense. It's new. That bothers me, but I mean, it does make sense that they would have these vulnerabilities.
Well, Jason would be afraid of water because he's brown. I guess it makes sense too.
I mean, that does make some sense.
But then in the
I
sequels,
see now what you
he's
meant about
always
your
going-
comment. Sorry, Tiburon. Go ahead.
I was just saying in the sequels, he's always going into the water. That's I'm like, well,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't like water, you're not going to live that close to a lake, are you? It's a crystal lake, for heaven's sake. It's a nice lake.
Nice lake. Nice campground. Bring your kids.
you need to watch this one, John. It gets very WWF when they're
Oh,
fighting.
does it really?
Freddy even does an elbow smash, like a Dusty Rhodes elbow smash.
You give him the I buy on a elbow, if you will.
But look, in real life, they're great friends. See this?
Well, you know, they're just working together.
He holds up. Let me tell you.
Wait a minute. Jason's talking.
So, you just have to wait.
What?
Kayfabe, brother.
Oh yeah, I would wear glitter lotion for you. I love the fact that Adina is saying if John had cleavage. I put on some weight. I do have cleavage. But I wouldn't get them work done the way that girl in this movie has.
And this is the last portrayal of Freddy by Robert, Mr. England.
Really?
Yeah, so far.
Yeah.
Well, he is eating up the set, man. He's chewing up the scenery.
I think we need like a kind of like a Justice League type movie where we have like Freddy, Jason, Michael, Leatherface, all those guys, Chucky, everybody.
Okay, now Stevie is saying this was not England's last.
Not his
Oh,
last?
well, okay.
Oh, I
Yeah,
think
if you're going to say that, yes, Robert England's last appearance as Freddy was in the
Oh,
Gold.
he did. He made a cameo in that sitcom. That's awesome.
Yeah, I think he's in one of the Halloween episodes.
That's hilarious. I need to watch that.
Thanks for hanging out with us, Diana J. Brody.
Yeah, later.
We'll
Thank
see
you,
you later.
Diana.
Melons. This dude that played Jason, he was actually like a stunt double or something, and Jason goes to hell.
You know, most of these guys aren't stuntmen, are they not? Most of the guys who played the Michael Myerses and the Jasons,
Guys.
because they get 2 for 1 that way. They get a guy who does do the practical stunts, but he also does the physical work. And a lot of stuntmen are good physical actors.
This is a cool scene. Jason goes to a rave and he's like on fire and killing all the ravers.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I thought, Steve.
He's got spirit fingers there. You see that?
Yeah, right there. He's
I
doing
see
like
what you mean now, John.
Yeah, he's doing like a pinball thing.
Kind of freaked me out because I never watch scary movies. I'm terrified of scary movies.
Now,
can you
Kelly
imagine?
Rowland do more than one horror movie? I seem to think she did.
I wonder.
I don't
But
know.
she brings up a good point though, which is if you never watch scary movies, how freaky is it to be in one?
Yeah.
Because everything about it, the lighting, the set, everything like within the shot is of a horror movie. And you always have to I've auditioned for horror movies in the past, and they really want you to go all out. Like, okay, I want you to scream as if you're almost being killed. All right. Thanks. We got everything we need. Thanks. I'm like, oh, I didn't do a good job.
Batman versus Superman, a great comic book. With that
Now, I hate to be coming back to the cleavage again, but was that like a blood splattering to draw our attention? Is that what you meant?
Well, when I first saw it, I was like, wow, they really want you to look at her boobs. But it makes sense, though, that Freddy would cut her like that. Because Freddy is a sick creep. So that makes sense.
So I spent a lot of money on those implants, and Freddy cut them out. Damn you,
Right.
Freddy.
That is one of those things that on these movies they shoot and run. They don't spend a lot of time doing a Stanley Kubrick. Let's do 60 of them and maybe we'll get a good one. Adina has definitely heard me scream before.
There you go.
Yeah, I think those are directional.
Right. Well, to me, it's like for emphasis.
Yes, there you go. Little enhancer.
I think folks are going to be in for a surprise.
It's funny. Whenever I would work with stuntmen really don't like actors very much.
Is that because they get paid less and get injured
And I get it because they'll see like the stars get babied so much. Like, somebody will come in like, hello, I've got Liam Neeson's Capers on Toast. Where is Liam? It's like, no one's bringing me Capers on Toast. And then I would work with stunt people because I had done pro wrestling. So when they would say like, hey, any of you guys interested on being in the stunt? I'd always be like, yeah, put me in the stunt. I love crash pads and I love, falling 14 feet backwards. I love that shit. So I did quite a bit of stunt work, and the stuntmen by the end of the shoot would be like, you know what, John, you're okay. Hey, high praise. That's all I wanted, was to be accepted by people who didn't like me.
The pro wrestling helped out then with the
big time.
Fun.
I was so unafraid. The final girl in this movie is the first female lead on a nightmare film that is not a typical girl next door. Oh, that's interesting. The characters in this film are more in line with Friday the 13th and Nightmare on Elm Street. You're a peanut butter on a Ritz level actor.
Sounds fancy to me.
I mean, seriously, that works on so many levels. I love peanut butter on a Ritz, so it's a compliment. But it's like, I'm not Capers on Toast. I'm peanut butter. That's a very good point.
I saw this one in the theater when it first came out, and it felt like going to watch a pay-per-view. Like we were chanting. Like I was going for Jason, so I would chant when like Jason was winning, and then people were in the Freddy crowd, so they would start chanting when Freddy was winning.
That is hilarious. So there were two different kinds of fans there, kind of fighting it out.
Yep,
it's hilarious.
But really, how come we never saw Jason versus Freddy Part 2? Or even swap the names for the sequel, you know?
They made a comic books after this where it was Freddy and Jason going to hell, and like Pinhead was down there, and then they made other comics with Ash, with Ash from Evil Dead fighting both Freddy and Jason. There's comic books of that. There you go. See,
he just said Ultimate Warrior versus Hulk Hogan.
That's what it felt like.
Jason Ritter, man. Well, and that's actually hilarious because yes, Hulk Hogan would definitely have his fans. Ultimate Warrior didn't really have fans like that. But I mean, I can tell you which WrestleMania was it where it was Hogan? No. It was Mr. T versus Rowdy Piper.
I think that's 2. The boxing one? The boxing one?
Yeah. Because they'd both done some boxing. Yeah. And then I think that one. So wait, what was the first WrestleMania with Hogan? What was Hogan's match?
That was Hogan and Mr. T versus Paul Orndorff and Piper in a tag match.
Right. Right. Yes. And Stevie backs that up. Yeah. Boxing match was WrestleMania too.
Apparently they taped Piper's fist so he couldn't like try to take off his gloves and beat up Mr. T. They like just balled up his fist and taped them apparently. That's what he's saying.
And I have a feeling that Mr. T was like, I want to see you do that. I want to see you tape up his hands. All right, here we go. Not this one again, but what's next? Freddy Krueger explains that he controls actor Robert Englund.
That makes sense.
This is a little.
Now, are we seeing his unscarred bare shoulder?
Oh yeah, I think you are.
Bed every morning to get him to put me on. Yeah.
Is that wool or an acrylic? It looks hot no matter what.
Yeah.
Robert's in control about
with the makeup too.
Oh, jeepers.
And then something happens.
And it goes over his head, doesn't it?
Something happens. I'm looking in the mirror.
Yeah. He keeps taking his hat off for some reason.
Freddy looking back. And Freddy's sense of humor takes over. And the voice settles back in the throat.
This is also where you realize Robert Englund has nice eyes.
Sitting around going with the girls, Heather, whoever I'm working with. Early on in the makeup session, we have to do our sort of wimpy acting.
I don't think about seeing Robert Englund talk through Freddy's face.
Trust me, so I can go.
That is weird. Actually, Stevie says that. I always forget they modulated
trust
Robert Englund.
What's left of that actor. So, because by the time it's action, about the only technical thing that I'm
John gets lost.
He's got Freddy Krueger eyes.
Yeah, they can try to control that. Yeah, he does. Freddy rules.
The best soundbite yet.
The makeup session.
Yeah, Freddy.
I'd always put a guttural spin on the Freddy voice and kind of pinched it back in my throat. And on the early films, the early Nightmare films,
right now he sounds like Paul Lindo.
Perhaps, they would fool around.
For heaven's sake,
slowing it down a little bit. I think radio sound technicians would tell you that's called vari speed. They can slow you down a bit, gives you a little more bass in your voice. And all I remembered as an actor in the early Nightmare films was I don't want the vari speed to make me sound artificial or robotic. And so I began to do the Freddy voice faster. And then when they applied the vari speed technique in post-production, it would come out normal. So if I said,
that is such an actor thing.
Prime time, bitch. It would come out on the feature film. Welcome to prime time, bitch.
Oh, that's cool.
It would slow down
naturally.
Amazing.
Hint that just that taste of vari speed on it. So that's sort of all you'll ever.
I got to tell you, this guy is such a great actor. I feel bad for him that he wasn't able to find a lot of other roles doing a lot of other things.
Yeah, he was pigeonholed, right?
Yeah. He really. And I think that happens sometimes when you do like indie movies, when you do like low budget movies, horror movies, genre movies, especially. I think the business kind of punishes you. It's like, well, yeah, but we're not that kind of movie, so we don't want that kind of actor. Oh, wait. kind of.
Robert Englund.
Who doesn't want to watch a little bit
How antagonistic he is in the audience.
Yeah, bumped the fat Canadian over. They are Canadians, though, so they wait for the guests to sit.
Shut up, piggies! I feel like family here. We have so much in common. You know, Glenn, masturbation. And Tom, I used to babysit your ex-wife, so it's
I did.
It's like old home week here, you know.
Oh, fantastic!
Wow.
That explains a lot. Freddy Krueger. Okay.
New viewer.
Okay, so you know, how's it going promoting the new movie, Freddy versus Jason? Wow, that's.
I'm on the road. I mean, you know about the
You were
road.
just in England or something, right?
We were in London, and then the night before last, Austin, Texas. Out there in the middle of nowhere. It's like East Texas. I mean, there's like a barbecue stand
I
across
think
the
Bum
street.
F
They get
was just
1,000
beeped.
fans to pay $60 to see the first screening of Freddy versus Jason.
He is a great theater
Outside,
actor, too.
85 degrees, full moon, albino bats. They do all the trailers.
Albino bats?
Albino bats. Not just bats. But albino bats, yeah. And we're sitting out there, and it's me, the guy that plays Jason, Ken Kersinger, and the director, Ronnie Yu.
Has it always been the same guy that played Jason?
No, this is the new guy.
New guy.
Yeah, new guy. This guy's like a giant. This guy's huge. He's an NBA tall. And we've never seen it before with an audience. And it's hot, it's sticky, it's buggy. There's chiggers crawling up your leg. This audience was, they had been there all day dressed as campers. Camp hack and slash, sort of a mock Camp Crystal Lake, shorts, t-shirts. They went to handicrafts, a mock camp handicraft thing with Jason masks being made, handmade, Freddy gloves. They're all sitting out there, 1,000 of them, and they do all the trailers of Friday the 13th, all the previews to Nightmare on Elm Street. And then right there in Texas Chainsaw Massacre country, the premiere of Freddy versus Jason, and they went ape. So we knew, we had a,
Yeah, a bunch of people who spent all day buying into the horror movies they loved, really enjoyed it.
What's the movie? The movie's based in sort of more Jason territory, though, isn't it? It's in like, is it? Or
well, it's as if Camp Crystal Lake is adjacent to Elm Street, to Springwood, any town in USA. But you know, it's a real simple plot. Teens have sex, I kill them. Teens have sex, Jason kills them.
So
well done, Robert.
That's really cool.
Robert Englund wrote that backstage.
Now but you
That's
guys
good.
are trying to kill each other too, right?
Yeah, he starts poaching on my teens. You know, he starts taking my kids, you know, and I can't have that. So then we have to duke it out. It starts out sort of like Popeye and Bluto.
Yeah.
You know, it's like wham!
Yeah, Tom Green's audience has
And
no
then it's
idea
sort of
what
like
that
Monty
means.
Python and the Holy Grail. You know, there's lots of amputee jokes,
again,
you know.
Tom Green's
And
audience,
it kind of
they-
moves into
they don't.
Roadrunner and Coyote for a while. At the end there, you know.
Now, look, so you're basically, you were a Shakespearean actor. You still are, I guess, when you started, and then you became Freddy got Krueger.
He plugged his own movie.
Freddy Krueger. I mean, were you expecting that to be?
Well, you know, it's actually been great. It's actually been fun. You know, I got a younger fan base now. I get to work in Europe. I get to work all over the world because horror movies, they travel well.
Yeah, they
You know,
do.
they're like action movies. You know, you can see them in any language. You understand them. It's real basic. And so it's fun, you know, to go to other countries. And
I think
make
there was a
movies and stuff.
story
But,
England
you know, I
told
was one of-
once where he was like in Africa and he was like at a dusty little town in the most southern part of like the Horn, down at the bottom of Africa. And there was a gumball machine out in front of a gas station. And in this gumball machine, they were selling basically Freddy gloves, like little glittery Freddy gloves. And he was like, in Africa. I don't even know what coin you would put in this machine, but they're selling like Freddy merch in these little bubblegum machines.
Money. You know, just before, I guess about the 9th week of the shoot, and we had to sell all the video rights to London just to finish the movie.
Oh.
So we didn't think, we just wanted people to see it. We had no idea that, you know, 20 years later, I'd be doing that. I was doing a TV show then called V, and I sort of
Oh,
thought
he
I
was on
gonna be
V.
America's.
I was going to mention that at some point. Yes, he was Willie, young alien.
This was 84.
Oh my gosh!
And I sort of thought 83. I sort of thought I was going to be like this sort of nerdy Dr. Spock for the 80s, you know. And I wanted to have something different. And
Dr. Spock. He means Mr.
The
Spock.
irony is that show got canceled.
Good thing he didn't become that character.
I'm like Dr. Spock over here. Shut up. Shut
Is
up.
the makeup effects different now, or is it than it was when you did the first one, or is it the same process of making Freddy Krueger?
I'm older now, so my skin's not as resilient. But I thought because of the new technology, I haven't worn makeup since '94. I thought, well, this will be cake. You know, this will be, easy. I can do this. And my sort of the last element of my manhood that's left is water. I'm an old surf dog, so I did all my own water stunts.
Surfer?
So you see Freddy flying through the sky on fire. It's not me.
Yeah.
You know, but all the underwater stuff and the water stuff, because I have to go duke it out with the big dog at Camp Crystal Lake. So we're around water all the time. My makeup kids didn't know how to do the glue. They put too much glue on because they didn't want the water to leak under the prosthetics. I'd look like a used condom or a water balloon or something. So they put this incredible mixture of medical adhesive. You know, it's the stuff they use for colostomy bags. Frank Sinatra No. 3 or something, and they just basted me with that stuff, and it took them forever to take it off. So after 2 weeks of shooting, my skin was raw. So for the rest of the movie, they're putting the glue.
You're making for like 4 hours in the morning, and
4 hours in the morning,
16-hour day, and
I think I had a break in the middle, so I got to sort of heal a little bit. But it was rough. It was the roughest one for me.
So does Freddy or Jason? Does one of them die in the movie? Does one die at the end? Which one dies at the end?
Spoilers.
Oh yeah.
I can't tell you. I'd have to.
Oh, he literally whispered there's going to be a sequel
on the show. I'm sure you've probably noticed.
And there wasn't one.
I was wondering if maybe you wanted to come back behind the set with me. We got a lot of the props we keep back there, and we got some sledgehammers and stuff. We could go smash some back there.
Oh, do you want to come backstage there, Robert
A couple
Englund?
minutes.
Well, this is where us Canadians like to smash stuff and stuff,
Back here.
Go out here.
Back here. Well, this is behind the set, and this is where they keep all the props and stuff for the show. Sometimes to kind of work out some of my frustrations, I come back here. I've got this tape of I like to play, and just pop it in here. Here, take a sledgehammer, and let's see the volume here. There you go. Over here, we got
This is probably going to get us a copyright strike. Thanks a lot.
And this microwave oven. The statue here. Here. Let's start. Go.
Look, I hate to be like a drag, but you should have safety glasses on. What the hell kind of set do you have here, Tom Green?
Good point, John. I'm waiting for some shard to pop in their face, man.
Seriously. Even if it's breakaway stuff.
Damn. He almost fell.
He almost killed himself on that one.
Yeah, well, you'll be thanking me when you get to have both eyes.
Yeah.
And put on a sweater.
And don't make funny faces because it'll freeze that way. Right, John? Maybe that's some styrofoam or something.
It's so funny. You got to wonder if they pre-taped that and they just walk off the set and then walk back onto the set. Or did they do it in real time? They couldn't.
I love that.
Tom, do you let Glenn play?
No, Glenn doesn't get to play.
I don't get to play.
Glenn, the Andy Richter no one cares about.
And this is the set for my Mad TV.
Mad TV? Oh, it is Mad.
Oh, you're Mad TV,
I
huh?
play Robert Englund. What do you think?
Oh, I like sketches. They're funny.
You know,
I can't remember her name. She was so
Deborah Wilson?
Is that Deborah Wilson?
In all of these horror films, and
Deborah Wilson would never balk at getting naked for a joke. And I was like, God bless you.
I'm the guy that plays Freddy Krueger.
Who?
Krueger.
the Nightmare on Elm Street films.
Oh, I've never seen any of those. But I do remember you from V. You played Willie the Kind.
Yeah,
I
V.
loved Willie. I did.
Oh, she's supposed to be downtown Julie
I
Brown?
loved Little Willie.
Like him a lot?
A lot.
I guess so. Yeah.
Much.
Oh, a lot. Oh, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
Oh,
Yep.
no.
Spice
That's
Girl.
all right.
He's supposed to be Scary Spice.
Oh,
That's just me ovulating.
Seriously. Seriously, Dad.
Oh,
Oh, wow.
no, that's
cool prosthetic.
I love Adina. She's
Oh,
obviously.
not the scream guy.
Robert England.
Oh, the guy from V.
I'm the actor who plays Freddy Krueger in all 7 Nightmare on Elm Street films, for crying out loud. Everybody just remembers me from V. I've done 50 movies. I'm about to be bludgeoned to death. It's probably going to say on my tombstone, R.I.P. Robert England. He's the guy from V.
Pop quiz. Pick a number between 1 and 10. 6. You're lucky. Hey, this could be a clue.
Wait a minute.
Michael Jackson glove?
Oh, Michael Jackson gloves.
Property of Michael Jackson. Bingo. Now all we gotta do is figure out who Michael Jackson gave this glove to. And we got ourselves a killer. Made in Hong Kong.
Man, TV was awesome.
It looks like I've got me a plane to catch. This is just too easy.
Oh, this was
Originally, there was a hint of pedophilia. We had a horrible scandal in LA at this time called the McMartin case. It's been made into a phenomenal cable movie on HBO with James Woods. And what really happened was a bipolar mother
He shoots.
freaked out, went off her meds.
He says a lot of things that normally you'd have to say allegedly.
She had been neglecting her son when she went off her meds. And she blamed the daycare center.
So I'm going to roll it back.
Freaked out, went off her meds, and made up a
So
story.
he's saying that one of the mothers of the children who was at this daycare center went off her meds and hallucinated a lot of the charges that they laid against this daycare center. I'd never heard this story, but again, this is Robert Englund saying this. This isn't me saying
being
it.
molested because she had been neglecting her son when she went off her meds. And she blamed the daycare center. They wound up arresting 15 grandmothers who've been working there since the 1940s and putting them in jail for pedophilia. And this was this huge scandal while we were all shooting the movie. And Wes obviously downplayed any hint of that. And he made Freddy's crimes more of a symbolic nature. Child killer. It's very symbolic. Freddy kills children.
But how messed up is it that you lighten the charge by saying he's a child killer? That's really twisted.
It is.
They firmly established Freddy as a child predator in the 2010 remake, but dialed it back to just child killer for the original films. God, that was kind of freaky. Kind of freaky.
Again, dialed it back, as it were.
Yeah, yeah. But I also love how Robert Englund doesn't hold back. He just, he's a talker and storyteller.
Freddy's killing the future. Freddy's killing innocence.
And now it's the...
Well, I'm happy to hand it off to Jackie. Jackie's a terrific actor.
Oh.
All you have to do.
So Jackie, he's referring to Jackie Earl Haley, who took over the role as Freddy in the 2010 film.
Do is watch his work in Breaking Away.
Oh, yeah.
Or watch his work in Shutter Island.
Oh.
A magnificent rock and roll performance that is. He's the best thing I think in Watchmen. Yeah, he's a terrific actor. I think
they couldn't edit.
That'll all be cut out. I think the problem with the reboot was in timing. Used a terrific cast. Connie Britton as the mother, Clancy Brown.
Oh, Clancy Brown.
Terrific actors. The young actress from Dragon Tattoo, the young actor from Jennifer's Body. These are wonderful actors that I'm impressed with and that I've worked with. But I think that they had just released the deluxe Blu-ray digitally remastered box set of all of my movies months before or within the year before the reboot, and an entire new younger generation saw those films on a 50-inch flat screen in Dad's man cave with the lights turned off during a adolescent sleepover, and those movies look great that way, and they hold up, especially parts 5, a double bill of 3 and 4, Wes Craven's New Nightmare Part 7, and Freddy versus Jason, which is still a comparatively recent film. And they had just seen those. So I got an entire new generation, in 2008 or 2009, whenever that happened. And then they re-released the movie, the reboot. They're trying to reboot the franchise. Platinum Dooms came out, I think, in 2009, 2010, and it was just too soon. And I think that it suffered by comparison.
Yep.
I think there's also a rumor that they reshot the entire opening. Now, I like the opening of the reboot, but it does cast a pall over the film. Everyone is already tainted by Freddy. There's like a black cloud over the kids already, and I think you kind of need to meet the kids, meet the fuckers, meet the Elm Street brats before they're sort of
the Elm Street brats
under the shadow of Freddy and haunted by Freddy. It's sort of, you need that before and after, that kind of happy-go-lucky Elm Street brats before Freddy begins his cat and mouse with them all. And I think that ingredient was stepped on. That part of the design was sort of stepped on by their reshoots, which kind of set it deeper into the curse of Freddy by the time the movie began.
I gotta agree. I could listen to Robert Englund all day.
The fedora was Wes's idea, but he'd been talked into maybe trying some other hats, and they had this box of hats. They were sitting on the floor, comfortably, both of these grown men on this futon, and telling me to put on all these different hats. And I'm sitting there in the makeup and going, guys, please, the fedora is right. And they kept putting on like paperboy hats and baseball hats. God, one hat looked like a pimp hat. I mean,
He was a newsie.
You guys, and I said something to Wes, like, look, the fedora was your idea. And I said, look at him. I stood and showed my shadow on the wall with the hat and how strong that silhouette was.
I'm telling you, giving credit to a man with beautiful eyes is not a wrong thing.
The baldness and how he could say that to the right time in the movie. And I kind of got my way.
Oh,
I
look at this Freddy down back.
being very envious of Johnny and Heather, their beauty, their youth, and their whole careers ahead of them. I said, hey, I can use that. That's a trick I can use for Freddy when I have to, go after them in the film, when I have to muster something up. That can be my sense memory. That can be my little synapse, my little click into why I resent them.
That is such a great piece of acting advice.
That was his motivation.
Yeah.
I never thought that during my lifetime I will witness the return of a nightmare. As my eyes get heavy, I cannot fall asleep. Maybe he's used to haunting others.
Oh, this is a fake
but
one.
he's never been haunted by someone.
I don't know.
I don't think this is real.
I will find him.
Could be mistaken. Maybe
I
it
will
is.
be his nightmare.
I think that's Freddy versus Jason.
And I will put a stop to this.
Is that?
Are you coming or not?
This is a
Once
fake
and for all.
Oh, is it fake? Because there's a million fake ones. Well, yeah, this is all from 2010. Interesting. Looks really good.
It's like a fan
We'll
made
end Freddy Krueger.
wishful thinking.
I had to cut a bunch of those out of the playlist, and that's it. That's the playlist, I think.
All right.
I think we got to the end of the playlist.
I was
So-
like,
What
wait
a
a minute. Why
great
haven't-
afternoon and
Yeah.
evening with Freddy.
Yeah, there's one more interview, but it's like 11 minutes, and I don't think it's gonna tell us anything we didn't already know.
I forgot to show you right above me. I don't know if you see him. And my
oh my
camera.
God!
I have them
Look at that,
popping out of
Freddy.
my wall.
Holy cow! Tiburon, that is so cool.
I gotta show that.
You know, that's so funny you say that, Stevie. I have a treatment for a new Nightmare reboot inspired by Robert Englund's concept he pitched years ago. I found that clip and I lost it. It's very cool with Robert Englund going, well, I think the movie should be this. And he basically lists off these scenes and lists off, you know, like the first 3 sentences of a treatment. And I'm like, dude, don't be talking to, well, I mean, obviously he can't pitch to a studio because studios aren't listening to him at this point. But I'm like, damn, you know, I think what he was doing was he was like, I can't get any meetings with any studios, so I'm just going to go to the press. And then maybe the fans will be like, hey, come on.
Oh.
And that does happen. I also watched, you know, a weird thing yesterday about the Zack Snyder cut and how for many years people didn't believe that Justice League of America, that there was a Zack Snyder cut, but there actually turned out to be one. But he had planted it with the fans. And he had said, well, I don't know about you, but I think the Zack Snyder cut would be really great. And then the fans were like, hey, where is it? Show us a Zack Snyder cut. And then Warner Brothers was like, all right, Zack Snyder, here's a little more money. We'll put that together.
Well, and that kind of fresh off the trail of Richard Donner cut of Superman 2. People were clamoring for that for years.
Oh, that's a very good point. Yeah. Well, I mean, that does happen with movies that they're Ridley Scott had a cut of Blade Runner that no one ever saw for years and years. Did I not say Justice League of America? And then it turned out
the movie was just Justice League. That might be the question there.
Yeah.
We know it, of course, is Justice League of America from the comics.
I do like Stevie's line because I agree with it. And then it turned out to be slightly better, but not actually good.
It still wasn't good. The Snyder cut.
It's okay. It's okay. I mean, honestly, I watched them both pretty religiously because I do like them. They're not great, but I do like them. And yeah, Zack Snyder's version was pretty good. It had some characters in it that it was really cool to see, including a Green Lantern at the beginning. JLA is the original team name. Justice League was a later team / comic. Oh,
okay.
Well, I think I'll start coming at a time when we just kind of stop dropping, you know, America as a reference or a title.
Yeah,
made it more international that way. You know.
Oh, that's a good point. That's a good point. It was a dumpster fire. I mean, I think I've watched.
Don't mince words, Nina. Tell us what you really think.
I haven't watched a lot of dumpster fires, so I'm not sure. I'd compare. I think that's insulting to a dumpster fire. All right. Well, I'm obviously as punchy as hell right now, doing this for 2.5 hours almost. You know what we have not done? We everything. We haven't done anything at this point. I do wish I had thought of doing this earlier.
There we go.
Hey, John, anytime's a good time.
If you want to go visit our resident horror and sci-fi genius co-counsel, or you have to go to co-counsel.com and join the dark and bizarre world of our Ontario co-counsel. He is a nice man. He is a scary and pitiless and merciless writer. One of the many things that we admire about our man Joe. Let's hook you up.
Hi, hook you up. And hi, praise John. Thank you as always. And seemingly normal on the outside, but it's just on the inside. You be the judge.
I dig that song. That was a cool song.
And
thank
Mr.
you. Weber.
I will. Oh yes, that's right, Stevie. Fury Duty is a wonderful read. Always.
Thank you, Stevie, so much. She's been keeping me up to date on her progress on the book, and I love it. Thank you so much.
That's fantastic. Next week on the show, we will not be able to work with Retro Tiburon, even though we got to work with him twice this weekend because Joe and I are going to be on Tiburon's show. We recorded on Friday, but obviously it's these two monkeys, so Tiburon's got to do some editing. It'll take a while.
Severe chopping.
It wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
Oh well, I mean, it was 4 hours, so we'll have to fight with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, please, Tiburon, let us know when it's ready, and we'll hype it on the show. And
absolutely, please.
Yeah, should be ready the first week of July. So
oh my gosh,
if you
good
just
turn.
couple
follow
weeks
me on
now,
YouTube
not
right
one.
here, you can see
Yeah,
John,
yeah.
Captain John, and Joe on that podcast episode where we ranked our favorite sci-fi movies.
Favorite sci-fi movies, and I got to tell you, we had some great ones. I was so proud of that show.
I felt like I was sitting under the learning tree. Like you guys are dropping the knowledge. Yep.
Well, I'm not going to give it away, but one of Joe's picks, you found the DVD for it this weekend, and you snapped it up and you bought it.
Yeah, because you guys were like
$1.
hyping them up. Yeah, you guys were hyping them up so much. I'm like, I gotta look for these movies, and I found one of the movies the next day for $1. Yeah.
So perfect.
Yeah.
Honestly,
No, it's great fun, and thanks for having us on Tiburon, and
yeah,
waiting to see the final version.
If you are not aware of the motion picture The Bat, it is one of my newest favorite things in the world. It is so bizarre and so off the beaten track. It stars Vincent Price, Agnes Moorehead, and many other great actors. And we will be doing a watch party next week of The Bat. When it flies, someone dies.
That's right.
Was that on the poster, Joe?
That is the tagline on all the poster art I found. Yes.
That's amazing. Because I mean, honestly, I would have complimented you to the moon if you had come up with it, because it's great.
I wish I could take credit, but that is original with the filmmakers.
So Joe and I want to do this in the future. We want to do some that are just strict watch parties. We don't have to, nobody has to do an essay. Nobody has to answer questions. We just watch it. And we're going to start that next week with The Bat and our special guests, American Oni and Pris from the world of wrestling. And it's going to be a good time. We hope you can be there with us. And if not, oh my God, I love Joe's hair in that photo. Let me see.
Oh, thank you, sir. I
was gonna say who's the redhead?
Hey,
who's that redhead?
You like your Tiburon?
Welcome to Springwood.
Or your Wood Springs.
Stevie, let's do that for you. Yeah, well, I'd love to do that close to Halloween, Night of the Living Dead. Stevie's volunteering to tackle Night of the Living Dead. It is in the public domain. Sure. Yeah, we'll work out a nice date getting in the run up to Halloween for that. That'd be fun. We get some other watch parties that we can do from now till then. So maybe we can, I don't know, maybe we can get all our guests back and we can do watch parties. Just sit back and drink soda pop and eat popcorn and watch some terrible movies together. Looking forward to that idea. What am I doing here? I just run out of energy. It becomes so sad. Retro Tiburon, would you let people know how they can find you and where, please?
They can find me, let me see, right here. YouTube, Retro Tiburon. Just everything's there. The podcast, like I said, I had John and Joe join me in a recording. Episode drops the first week of July. I do gaming live streams. Right now I'm currently playing Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I do pickup videos where I show like that $1 sci-fi movie I found at the yard sale yesterday. I show my pickups. I go to I do a swap meet, kind of a vlog. So I go to the swap meets and record my interactions with the vendors and the stuff I pick up there. It's all there, all right there, all there. YouTube.
Just a great entertainer, Retro Tiburon. Yeah. Just seriously,
I'm just happy to be part of the community. I'm happy to be here with you guys,
dude.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's I want to get to the point where you are. I will work hard. I will work up the ladder, and I want to do good stuff. And
I will ride John's coattails all the way.
Oh, please. Please. I'm telling you, 90% of what I do wouldn't get done without Joe going, John, I just wanted to mention you did it wrong and you weren't paying attention. And could you? Oh, shoot. Yeah, thanks, man. I mean, like, he's so nice about it. He's like one of the best partners ever. And he's very kind in how he kind of organizes the madness that's up here, the insanity that happens in this giant jar of evil. Oh my. Okay, so Stevie says, I enjoy his Halo Infinite multiplayer game.
Oh, thank you. Thanks, Stevie. Yeah, we play Halo too.
I'd join in if I had a new
and people that are watching, whoever, you're welcome to come play. That's what makes it fun. We do community game nights. Hey, there's a spot. Come in. You can play with us.
Oh, that's so cool, man. I gotta check those out. That sounds great.
Jump in, John. Come on. Boot up the Xbox. Let's play some Halo. Joe, you too. It's a sci-fi game. Jump in.
Sounds good to me.
I have an Xbox 360. That's the most recent Xbox I have. It's a nice one.
We might need to upgrade you.
Oh, folks, we have come to the end of yet another show, and what a wonderful show it's been. Joe Townsell, let the folks know how they can find you on the interwebs.
Well, thank you, John. I mean, in case you missed it, we just had a great commercial with a wonderful theme song composed by John. But in addition to that, I will point out, of course, my handle, joetownsell.com, my website, links there to everything I do with John and myself. Books are there. Here's the coverage right now. Stop by, check it out. I've got some enthusiastic readers right now reporting back to me, including Stevie, including John and Tiburon.
Yeah, I have anticipation. Yeah,
that's right. So I think you'll have a great time reading and watching, and please join me there.
Hey, that's we got to do that again. That was cool. Got to have a little video that you can talk to. We never did that. That's a great idea. All right. Stevie says, I found Joe online and now I'm standing right outside as we speak.
Okay, Freddy.
And that will do it. Join us next week at our original time and our new time of 5 p.m. On Sundays. And I'm going to be able to go up and visit the family while they're having dinner. That'll be nice.
That's wonderful.
Okay, my friends, that'll do it. Thanks, Tiburon. Thanks, Joe. Thanks, everybody, for watching.
Grab your popcorn, warm up your TV. Captain John, Commander Joe got something to see. We're all back in time to the Golden Past with the Retro Ranger. Oh, it's such a blast. We're flying high with the Retro Ranger. Give it a try and don't be a stranger. Ranger, strap yourself in for a fun-filled flight. Retro Rangers are flying tonight.